Hey, or should we just? Don't you mean ho ho ho?
Ho,
Oh,
Ho ho ho! Welcome back to another episode of Hollow Time. We're on episode 10.
10.
Yeah,
We're growing
10,
up.
10.
We're growing up.
Yeah,
Can you believe episode 10 of Hollow Time, a fantastic and fun podcast featuring Filipino AFOLs and tying in our heritage to Lego and each other. But welcome on in, everybody. Good to see everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good time zone to wherever you guys are at, or whenever you decide to listen or watch this. I am Panfred Noodle or Tito Fred. We have our couple usual suspects. Kuya Carl, Tito Carl, Tito Boy. Thank you for joining us from the North Pole and taking a break from your toy making duties.
Very cold.
Let's see that outfit, AZ.
Yeah, you gotta show everybody the legs, man. Yeah, you gotta show everybody the legs.
Oh wow, it is full on gear. Whoa!
Oh wow! Oh, you have the belt too.
Oh, that's amazing.
You need to do a turnaround.
That's cute.
Oh, I guess you're
it, really.
Oh,
Is it? I thought it was a onesie, but it's not.
It is. It technically is.
That's great. That's great. I love that. We have Kuya Nick and Ate Maan joining us from the Great White North.
We have our Christmas jerseys. So I'm good Santa,
I don't know. I'm bad.
and then she's
Bad Santa.
you can stand up. She could
Santa, too much
Santa.
eggnog,
Yeah.
too much.
too much
eggnog.
sun
Mine's
mid,
actually
and
turning gray. My Santa's turning gray.
Yeah, mine's young. So.
Yeah, yours. Yeah.
Amor, with the Krampus gear.
Yeah, I guess that's what's going on. Yeah.
The two Krampus at the bottom.
Yeah, my bad.
No. That's good. And our very, very, very special guest. Shy time is my time. Kuya, Tito.
Welcome.
I mean, whatever, I guess.
Got it.
I mean, like, technically I'm older than you, so
You are. So I gotta bless. I gotta bless Tito.
yes.
I gotta bless. Make sure I get my my envelope.
Yeah,
get
technically,
blessed.
Like,
Yeah, here's
depends
a-
on who I'm talking to, right?
Right.
But I do have like a nephew who is technically like he's older than me, so
Oh,
he has to call me Tito Shy, and I have to be like, bless me.
that's so good. That's
Yeah,
so
we
good.
have a couple of those where just
They're
because
older. Yeah, actually, just in his generational, I don't know how it works. He's technically a great grandfather already, or a
Okay.
grandfather.
it's weird because my
No.
dad's oldest sister is 26 years older than him, and so
And so Nick and
her
brother are like the
kids-
youngest of all the
yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
it's all weird.
They have grandkids already of grandkids. So we're technically in the, leveling all the generations. I think he's like
Wow.
grandfather level or great grandfather level
Yeah.
even.
Damn,
Depending on
you're
Dang.
Lolo already.
Lolo.
Lolo.
Super
Oh,
Lolo.
yeah.
I was Lolo like 10 years ago. So.
You were Lolo 10 years ago.
God damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I ain't trying to be called Lolo, man. That's,
Lolo bread.
Lolo,
yeah, I
You'll
ain't
always
about.
be Tito.
Lolo
Yeah,
is
man.
a word for grandfather. Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
I'll
for
be an
those in the
old
chat.
I'll be an old man, and people gotta still be calling me Tito, man. Cool. Do not call me that. I'm still Tito.
Yeah. You're gonna be one of those.
Yeah, the post too. You gotta do
Yeah, we don't even know that we do that. It's just natural now. Every time
Hey,
I'm on
see.
stream. Yeah,
that. Amor does it too.
I do it. I
Like
caught
putting your hand
myself.
on your hip?
Do you ever catch yourself
Yeah,
doing that,
Like,
Shy?
no, it's on your thigh.
Oh, you're
Talking
Well,
like your
uh,
thigh. Like,
You don't
yeah.
even know. It's on your
No.
thigh.
I don't even. I'm not. I don't know because I haven't
I'm
really
not there.
paid attention to it. So now that you brought that to light, I don't know. I'm gonna. I guess the next time
Let's
it
go
does
try it
happen.
out. Is it like a good position? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like natural. Some I don't know.
On his way.
Honestly,
It's natural when you're a Tito.
What's the Tito? What's the Tito pose? There's no Tito
I don't
pose.
know.
And,
What is
but
it?
see, the thing is, I haven't had like a heart-to-heart conversation yet with my nieces and nephews yet. You know, When by heart to heart, I mean like just dumb things.
Is
But,
that
like-
the qualifier?
Come here.
It's like,
I haven't had one of those yet. So maybe
Come
maybe
here.
when the time comes where I have
Yeah.
to,
You gotta
maybe.
practice that position, that stance.
I gotta. I don't know.
It's a twist in the shoulder.
I had one of
Let's
those
go lean
conversations
in.
with my
Lean
niece just
in.
this
Lean
week.
in.
The heart to heart, the uncle to niece
I'll
conversation.
tell you something.
Did you pose like that though?
I think I did. I was on the phone though, so she didn't see it. But I was on my couch.
On the couch, I can imagine this.
It's like, look, it's not how you want to live your life. You know. It was,
Yeah,
Only Filipinos will be performing while having a conversation.
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
happened.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome everybody again to this 10th episode of Holla Holla Time. Last couple episodes, we haven't been able to do our typical schedule of going every other week because of the holidays. So 2 weeks ago was American Thanksgiving. I just don't remember. We've got Canadians. We've got a
Yeah. Ours was 6 weeks ago.
right.
Ours is in
Ours was
October.
We already lost the 10 pounds that we gained then, so we're ready
Yeah.
for the 10 pounds.
oh god.
Yours is too close together.
There you go. Right. And then we will not have an episode 2 weeks from now because of Christmas.
I know.
Well, it'll be Christmas Eve.
Mhm.
In 2 weeks, which is
I can't believe it's
Crazy.
Christmas Eve already in 2 weeks.
No. In my
Yeah,
head, I'm like,
man.
okay, things are gonna. I have to slow down work December, and I haven't. But like,
Same.
I do. I count down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have to like organize. We have our tree up and decorations and things like that, but I still have to itemize the things to wrap up, to organize. I think we're getting turkey. I think we're in turkey duty
Oh,
this
turkey
year.
duties.
Ah.
Yeah.
Turkey.
We just do the ham. We do the honey baked ham.
Mommy does ham, and then
Ham,
I
Filipino
feel-
spaghetti. Always got a
Ooh,
Filipino. We had
Filipino
that.
spaghetti.
we do the turkey with the sticky rice stuffing.
Sticky rice.
Oh,
stuffing.
So you already have the rice
Yeah.
in there already.
Sticky rice stuffing.
Oh man, that
Like
sounds
from
efficient.
the dim sum
Yeah,
sticky rice.
you know the lomigay.
Huh.
in
thing.
the what is it
Banana leaves.
Banana
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
leaves.
I'll write that down.
Sounds
it's
amazing.
Although we had a guest, who was it? She always does different themes of turkey for all her Christmases, but
Oh,
like different
pink
pink
wheels.
wheels. She does cultural Christmas turkeys. So one year it was like Mexican, another year was Indian flavors.
So
So,
it's
she had
butter
like butter
turkey.
chicken turkey.
Butter chicken turkey.
And I'm like, whoa,
Like-
I know.
Like the whole
But
turkey or
the whole
meat?
turkey, like they baste it, they do the whole marinating, and then all of their
Wow.
dishes are, as per that culture. I think they're doing Greek this year. So, however,
Nice.
that
That's
with
interesting.
more lemons, more of the olives and stuff. I'm like, I think that's interesting because like
She
Like-
should do Filipino.
Filipino turkey. What
Oh,
would that
wait.
be?
What would a
Adobo?
Filipino turkey be then?
Adobo style turkey, like what vinegar, toyo, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, based in
Garlic,
toyo and
right?
yeah.
And then marinated that way. Maybe I'll try it. I don't know. It's
Hey,
kind
that-
of
that's an
thought it would just be
idea.
a
kind of
adobo.
scary
That
because I
sounds
want to,
good.
how do you practice that, right? Like you get a turkey,
But also, you
one
gotta-
deal.
Also, you got to deep fry it.
You got
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah,
that's next level.
Yeah, that's
I need a
nice.
vac.
That's the only other
You gotta
method.
make it
do
as close to giving you a cardiac arrest as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Merry Christmas.
If it's not going to give you cardiac, then
It's not
then
Filipino enough.
it's not Filipino enough. You know?
Or gout. If you think
Or
Or
gout.
gout. Oh my
You'll get
gosh,
gout.
yes.
you ain't doing it right.
It's
Oh,
becoming
yeah.
the age of
Oh
gout,
my
I tell you. people.
Gosh.
sounds
Oyster sauce.
Mm.
Yes.
Speaking of adobo,
Right?
though, I was just on a cruise last weekend.
Oh, is that
and-
what going cruises?
okay.
well, it was my father-in-law's like 60th birthday, and he wanted to
Oh,
bring all
okay.
of his friends and family on a cruise.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Shit.
But like during the late night dining in the actual dining hall, the last night the waiters were like,
I told you.
I
I told you to send a stew.
they're like, Filipino ka ba?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, man, I'm Filipino. Hey, do you guys want adobo? And I'm
What?
like, are you gonna feed us all that? They're like, yeah, I'll bring a bunch out. So they made like 10 plates and they brought it from the kitchen below, and they
Oh my
served everybody to
gosh.
adobo, and it was probably the best thing I ate on that ship.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It's true then. Like a lot of staff on cruise
A lot of
ships,
staff I heard are Filipinos.
especially cooks and
Mhm.
Why is
The wait
that?
wait staff
It's a good job, I
is
guess.
Filipino.
Do they hook each other up? I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe.
I have a family friend that I grew up with. I haven't talked to him forever, but it's one of those things he's on your Facebook. But he works a cruise
on a
line.
cruise. Yeah,
Yeah, he'll just post, oh, he's like somewhere in Alaska or makes stops in
Right.
New York and stuff like that.
Right.
And
Oh
yeah,
wow.
that's their
There
life.
was-
And like the overseas Filipino worker life, you
Yeah,
make the money, you
Yeah.
send it to the
Send it back home.
Philippines,
Right.
Yeah.
you can
Mm.
grow it until you kind of retire early and
Right.
go back
Yeah.
home with your investments.
There was a comedian, I forgot her name, but she used to work on a cruise ship, and she talked about being she was Filipino American, so she was like kind of whitewashed Filipino, and she knew some stuff, but she didn't know Beck.
Oh no.
This
And
is
they
early
said
in this.
I
Yeah,
know,
so
right?
Not even 12 minutes,
Well,
yo.
he said
Right,
a
12
record.
minutes. We're talking about.
We said a
What kind of
record.
show is this?
So they were doing like a staff like meeting or a staff kind of like mixer or whatever to kind of get to know each other. And she said it loud enough. She said, "What's Beck?" Like loud enough for like
I
a
love it.
bunch of the people to hear. And then and she's like, yeah, and you know what they called me for the next couple of months after that happened. Anytime they pass me, they call me Beck. And she's like,
Oh,
I was
man.
like, I think she prefaced it with, I have got a bone to pick with you Filipinos.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
But for those who don't know what that is, it's the slang term for the female reproductive organ.
Yeah. Nicely put.
Yeah.
Prof, you're very
Nicely.
professional there, Prof.
I was waiting to hear how you would say it.
Yeah.
I
know,
know.
it's
I've had to be professional about it.
Yeah.
We're going right into that.
Shy's
term.
like, what did you invite me in?
How'd we get here?
Speaking of shy,
Yeah.
so good cruise overall.
It was a good cruise. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I brought the kids because we have to bring the kids because all
Yeah.
my in-laws were there. Anyone that would babysit our kids were there. So just I think like traveling with young small children is not takes a lot of the fun away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you're always like worried, and we're on a ship. And I don't know if they fall over, it's over.
Yeah,
Like
it's over.
it's gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. Going to Mexico again, and so I have to give them the speech. Like, we're in Mexico again. Remember the rules. You're by my side all the way
Yeah.
until we're back
Yeah.
home. Blah blah. But it was fun. I love going to cruises. I've been on a few now. Been on Norwegian, and this one was Carnival.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I do want to do a Disney one, but
Oh, it's so crazy.
it's
Price
expensive.
is like triple. It's like triple. I do
But
hear
for
it's
what?
it's like white glove servicing, but I'm okay. I'll
Wow.
just take my kids to the park, and
Hmm.
I'd
Yeah.
rather take kids to the park.
So,
But,
but
yeah.
I like cruises. They're fun. Like, it's just like a good reason to just splurge on everything,
Yeah.
right?
But I know what you mean. Like when you have kid though, it's really hard to have fun on a cruise. Like the last time we went
Yeah.
was our first guy was 3 years old, and that was we haven't been since. So our two younger ones are asking
Mhm.
how is it like. So my mom goes on cruises like 2-3 times a year. So actually in a couple of weeks we're going to Countdown on a cruise.
Oh,
First time
nice.
we're doing anything for New Year's Eve because we're usually
Wow.
passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
And I think this is Royal Caribbean
Okay.
cruise line.
Okay, cool.
And
nice.
at least our kids are older, and like your father-in-law, my mom's celebrating a milestone birthday. She celebrated
Yeah.
70 years earlier summer. So all of her siblings and my cousins are all coming. There's about 15 of us showing up. So it's the first time we're doing like a huge coordinated
Reunion.
thing like
That's
this on a
cool.
cruise, right? But my
Yeah.
mom loves cruising. Every time there's a sale
The
on something,
cruise.
as long as I'm like, go put your discount on and go find friends to go. Just go as many
Mhm.
times as you can. So
Yeah.
she was able to do the Baltic cruise before that border closed up and everything. So
yeah.
at least she did that.
But no one got seasick or anything
Yeah.
shy.
No. I mean, I don't think I mean, this is like the first time we were like one of the top levels on a cruise line, because I was like, I want to go all out if I'm gonna go on this ship. So we were like we were on the top floor, so I really felt the movement,
the motion.
unlike before when you're like kind of a little
Bottom.
bit below,
In the cabin. Yeah.
and this time we weren't like, we actually had a balcony so we could see the ocean and all that kind of stuff. Like, we weren't like closed off in the, you know, when you turn off the lights, it's just black. Which is by far like one of the best sleeps I've ever had, is just being rocked while you're sleeping. It's in the dark. You get some really good sleep. But you know, but I had kids, so like it was really like we were always like, what are we gonna do? And we can't really like do all the events. And now your kids are like old enough, you can be like, all right, I'll see you when we get off. Or I'll see you at dinner, you know, because they can just
this
go
is
play
it.
video
You know,
games
when
and do that.
people are just sitting on those lounge chairs, I was jealous of them. I'm like, what does that feel like to
You
just
just
sit with a book, and you're like, the book is just on you, like it's just like an accessory. But here we were chasing like a toddler, right?
I remember sitting on the.
That's nice.
Rob is on a cruise, right now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
With his
Rob is on
family,
a cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the Disney one or what, but yeah.
Oh,
He's in the cruise.
Okay.
They are very Disney.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was doing the marathon, but I guess it was the
No,
it was
that's
No,
cruise.
soon.
marathon's like second.
Oh,
week of
that's soon,
January.
right?
Yeah,
that
that's
is
soon.
soon.
Yeah.
He's carving up right now. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Getting prep for it.
There's no way.
He's
There's no way
prepping.
going on a cruise and you're not going to be able to gain any like weight.
I know,
There's
it's
no way.
I can't even
crazy. Like,
imagine.
my mom sent me a
Yeah.
link of the Odyssey of the Seas ship, like a video
Oh,
on
wow,
YouTube.
a big giant one.
And there's like a nacho bar right beside the pool. I'm like, why do people even bother going to the pool if like I'd be sitting at the nacho bar, all covered up.
just nachos,
Yeah,
nothing else.
Well, it's like all the trimmings of the nachos. Like there's a lot of other places, but like it's interesting how there's just a nacho bar. Like
But the Odyssey is like huge. Isn't
I
that
think it's like the
largest
second
ship?
largest, if not the
second largest
largest.
ship?
Oh,
ship.
really?
Yeah.
Like a city on.
Well, we'll see how it goes. And this is
Yeah.
it. Like I think we drop off at like 3 different countries or islands, but it's like, do we even? Like, you know, it's like my kids are like, do we parasail? What do we do when we get off? And I'm like, I don't know. There seems to be like a ton of things to do just on board. So we'll
There he
see.
is.
You can yeah, I guess that's a
Yeah,
thing.
26.
Yeah, I can't. I know my family's been dragging me into a cruise, but
You haven't done it.
I
Still
just
hesitant.
it's like the
Seasick.
the mental thing of like being
Stuck on
out
the
of-
boat?
like stuck in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't like
and
that.
you
part.
can't- like what you were
Mm.
saying, Shy, like just like especially if you're just trapped in that room. I don't know.
Oh,
I
just make sure you have a
can't do it.
doctor. I get that. I understand. Like you're just like
Stuck.
you're stuck. But
Yeah, you're stuck.
You know, it's safe. It's not like the Titanic. There's lifeboats for everybody.
Yeah, you have a higher likelihood of
Surviving.
being unalived else another way than
Yeah.
on a cruise ship.
No, but I recommend. I mean, I know there's a fear in it. You know, like I remember the first time I went on a ship, it's a little antsy, but
Yeah.
you know, it's once you go on a military ship, then any ship after that, it's not so bad.
Wait, that's not how you got sick, is it?
No. I think my daughter got it from school and then
Okay.
passed out to
It
my
was a
brother,
cesspool.
her brother, my son, then
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wife, and because I was
You.
like the past couple days I've been like, you know, taking care of everybody, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get it eventually.
your
And then
turn.
I
Oh
found out.
no.
Yeah.
That's
No,
that's
no,
where
we didn't
Amor is
It's
right
the
now.
season of germs, that's for sure.
Yeah, dude. Half my
Yeah.
family's sick right now.
Oh man.
That's surprising enough that there wasn't a lot of not that I know of, like of our entire party that went. No one got sick after the ship.
Wow.
Okay,
So,
good.
you know, that's
That's
a lot
good.
of close quarters. I mean, technically, you're mainly outside for most of it because you're
Yeah.
on top of the ship, so you're not really, you know, you're passing people like on the way. But even like when you're eating, that's like, you know, you're past people close. But yeah, no one really got sick at all.
Oh, that's good.
Dang.
I know this is it, right? Like during the pandemic, when people
Oh.
got stuck on the cruise ship, you're just like,
Oh, those people
Oh,
got stuck on ships.
is
yeah.
that a good thing to be stuck on the cruise ship?
Yo.
Not a good
Oh,
thing to be
kumusta na?
Hey,
Yes, Harold.
kamusta?
Sorry,
Let me
it's
guess.
almost time.
Let me guess, you've been waiting for like 10 minutes.
I know. I was like, hello.
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 Commented.
It's like I want to chime in on the bad Filipino words. Yeah.
I'm like, what is,
Oh,
what's
All the
going
black
on?
shirts are on the bottom there.
What is that? I know, like red, green up here.
Festive.
my
Festive
Did you
Filipino.
did you finish all your paroles, Harold? All set?
Oh, actually, I just finished my first
making
one,
pearls.
and then I'm working on my second one, which should be
Oh.
pretty legit. Yeah.
Look at you go.
Nice.
Nice.
You're gonna get orders
When
soon.
you get it?
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
right?
show it. 'Cause we can show everybody what the parole is.
Yeah, my middle guy, he's doing some sort of geography research project, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to feature the Philippines," and he's asking me, "What kind of celebrations do we have?" I'm like, "Christmas." It starts in September.
Christmas for 3 months.
Like,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
starts pretty much
all the
then.
celebrations.
Yo.
Oh, wow.
That's
Wow.
legit.
Beautiful.
Where is he?
That's
Good
a legit.
stuff.
So I just made the tails this morning when I woke up today. But yeah, it
How did
lights
you
up too.
That's cool.
It lights up.
Oh,
What?
Yo.
What's your
Yo.
My next one's
international
gonna be
shipping and handling?
Filipino flag
Cute,
with the
cute
sign,
naman. That's really cute.
stars and all that stuff. Yeah.
Nux.
So
That's
chat, that's what a
fancy.
parole
That's
is.
cool,
It's
man.
like that's what you see a lot in the Philippines. As
Yeah.
Yes.
Symbols
September
of, like,
1st, as soon as September 1st comes up.
It's the Burr months.
Yep. And Mariah Carey made it official.
She did.
It's the bear months.
She gave the Filipinos her blessing.
Amen.
But speaking of preparations for Christmas, any Lego preparations, any Lego Christmas shopping, any Black Friday, any
Everything's
double
still-
insider points?
I didn't even know things were here
pickups?
already.
Maria just keeps on saying, "You're not getting it now, are you?" I'm
And
like,
it's
"Yeah,
built.
we are."
Yo, Costco had some legit sales over the past week.
Yeah,
What'd
what'd
you
you find?
Yeah.
$20. Oh, here, I'll get them.
He's a show and tell right now, man.
I
Yeah.
actually got it. I actually heard from somebody that it was somebody who shared it that the Nintendo system, Best Buy had some great ones too. Like the NES set was down to like $150.
What?
Oh,
It was that big of a
What?
sale, and it ran out
No.
like quick. I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't you tell me, dude? I've been looking. We wanted to get that.
So
Oh.
Costco, my area had this for
Oh.
$30.
30.
$30?
30?
Yeah, I know.
Down from 100.
Is
Yeah,
MSRP
I was
100?
But they just had like 2 of them, so Christine picked me up one.
Oh. Good time.
This was $20.
Oh,
cool.
dreams.
Oh, that's good. For $20?
Yeah, I just want these.
Yeah.
all the little guys.
Dang.
And then this was also $30.
Got
Was
some
that like further
deals.
discounted or just like that's their price in Costco?
That's the price at Costco.
Oh.
It was kind of crazy. 'Cause, like,
You're practically giving them away.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
pretty much.
God
I was
damn.
looking for the camera, but yeah, she just found those, and I was at work, and I was like, "Let's grab them."
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Akuya Nick, I know showed me a couple of sets. They're already built.
Yeah.
Built. I come down and I'm like, is that
Built
new?
So
already.
the Avengers Tower.
Whoa.
Yun.
Very nice.
The perspective,
then-
I thought it was like to the ceiling. I was like, "What?"
It's huge. It's a really big
But it's
set.
the back
Yeah.
of the museum.
Mhm.
Oh.
Nice.
Museum.
It's nice.
I like it.
Very good.
And I got a spot for them both, so
Hi, we're running out of
That's
spots.
good. we'll never run out of
I
spots.
just keep on going. We're gonna run out of spots. We're gonna.
I could bring you some fishing wire.
Thanks, thank you.
I don't want to be done.
Chai, I know you were building Avengers Tower last week. Yeah, there it is. That's not his permanent home, is it?
I don't know where I'm gonna put this thing.
I know, you did. You did
I
say
don't know. where I'm gonna
Oh,
put it.
there it is.
It's right there. I don't know where to
Right
put it.
there.
I'm currently filming it right now. That's why it's on the work desk. But
Mm.
right now, like I'm bringing all the modulars down because I'm lighting them up.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
All
so
of them.
that was my Black Friday splurge. Like I bought the rest of the lights that I needed
Oh,
for
wow.
all of them because
Nice.
Light My Bricks had a 60-70% off sale for all their lights. And I'm like, if I'm ever gonna get these lights right now,
Yeah.
sorry, if I'm gonna get these lights, get them right now. So I spent a good
Yeah.
number on that. What else did I buy? I also Avengers Tower, the Natural History Museum, and then I bought a new camera.
Hey.
That's not Lego.
Oh.
It's related.
It's not the camera
He's
you're
gonna,
using.
Black
all
Friday
he's
is
gonna film with
related.
that.
Yeah,
All he's gonna film on that is Lego. What camera?
I just got another Sony A6 400. So
Oh,
because
nice.
so when we were filming sitting on a stoop, we had to stop, right? So
Yeah.
so I just got another good camera that doesn't overheat like that.
Nice.
Now I have 3 cameras. Now I have 3 DSLRs. For
Yeah.
Sitting on the
Mm.
stoop, the camera is so crispy. It's like, and even like the color is like so rich.
Oh, thanks. Oh, so I kind of messed up on Tito Pred's episode. So I looked at him like he's blurry. Damn it. So like I didn't like I focused on him, and then I think when I moved the camera around, it got defocused. So I was like,
okay.
oh damn. But yeah,
didn't even notice
the cameras they're all DSLRs. They're not like just whatever cameras. So they are pretty pricey. I definitely invested too much into this, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, it was really fun to do it, and the way that you have it set up is perfect for really recording anywhere, which is nice.
So what I need to buy is a Pelican case that I can put everything in it and I can travel with it. So that's like the next goal. Because you saw me, I was like carrying like 3 or 4 bags. So like no, I gotta get a traveling Pelican case that can fit everything in, and then I could literally be a portable,
Portable studio.
Yeah, portable studio. So
Even a
yeah, it's
hybrid
not that
model.
I spent too much money this Black Friday.
Black Friday. It
The
only happens
power
once a
probably-
year.
Podcaster
Yeah, just
Pro.
once a year.
Just
Well,
You're
one
probably
year.
gonna get that before
We'll recover
Chicago,
by
right?
next Black Friday.
Yeah. No,
By
I'm
Chicago.
probably gonna get the Pelican case within a month.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna
Okay.
start going
Nice.
around. Yeah.
Did most of you like just buy stuff online for Black Friday, or it's just traditional? Let's line up at a store and get into some.
There's
wonderful
really nothing
sights,
of that
and-
anymore.
4 a.m.
Yeah, no, that was a big thing this year that a lot of people are making videos of like what happened to Black Friday. These don't
There's none.
exist anymore. And it came
Yeah.
with like a couple of things. One, like the Black Friday deals aren't really Black Friday deals.
Mhm, mhm.
Yep.
Like, you'll
Like
see
it happens like 2 weeks before already. Like the deals already starts getting
Yeah.
slashed
People
down.
are
It's
wising up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're wising
Yeah.
up.
So I
You know how
mean,
to shop.
aside from like the like for example, the Light My Brick stuff or the lights, or like what Lego did with their 60% off or to 20% off stuff.
Yeah,
For the most part, the main ones that would draw like lines, like Macy's, Best Buy, or any of those like giant stores, they didn't really have anything. Like even Target, like they just changed their sale prices to a different label and put Black Friday sale prices.
There were a
It's
lot
like
of
same price.
weren't there a lot of TikToks about that? Like
Yeah, a lot of
exposing-
TikToks.
Yeah, they
exposing
would take the
some real
sign.
stores.
Mhm. So it wasn't,
The same thing.
the Black Fridays of the yesteryears are I
gone,
think they're
done.
done. And I think just shopping online was so much easier. Like we bought
Yeah.
more stuff for
Yeah.
Black Friday. We bought the hex clad pens because we needed new pens. So those are like normally $600. We bought them for 50% off online. Like, why am I gonna go to a store to do this? Just,
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
but
That was like the Thanksgiving tradition
Tradition?
before, was picking up the newspaper morning of
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, right? And then
Work out
flipping
there.
through like, okay, here's your Best Buy one, because I'm
Yeah.
I always like the electronic ones.
Yeah.
What are the
Life gets
DVDs on
JC
sale?
Penney and all that stuff,
Yeah.
But,
And then you
But-
strategize where you drop
Yeah,
off everybody
exactly.
like when you get to the mall.
but none of that now.
Go,
None of
go.
that now.
No.
oh yeah, strategizing to when you get to the mall.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
You plot
you
your
gonna
route.
Bar?
That's Boxing Day for us.
Boxing Day,
that
yeah.
we would do.
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like this was kind of coming, right? I mean, before pandemic, because you have like
Yeah.
everyone started. It didn't just stay on Black Friday, and then it moved to Thursday, and then it kind of
Yeah,
moved to
Cyber
Monday,
Monday,
and then it moved
and
to
then
like the
giving-
rest of the week.
October.
Giving
Yeah.
Tuesday. And it's like giving
October.
back to me Tuesday.
What's
Yeah,
Giving Tuesday?
Yeah,
October
after Cyber
27th.
Monday, it's called
Crazy.
Giving Tuesday.
It is.
And what's
Mhm.
Wednesday after Black Friday? Yeah.
So by
but
that
there's,
time,
like,
everyone's
days-
broke. But right
Yeah.
now, everyone is
I'm
broke.
tapping out.
Broke Wednesday.
Yeah, no, but the economy's not helping. Like it's kind of shaky. Like it's so many things this year that I think it's definitely something's happening for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if those days are gonna come back or not.
Yeah. I don't think so, dude.
I don't think
If
so. I
anything,
mean,
These are like
the shipping guys are
sales
just
of
getting
inflation
busier.
times. Yeah.
I mean, even like before COVID, like when I was doing retail, like every year it will be less and less hectic and less crazy.
Yeah.
like
Because of
stores are
online.
I mean,
Yeah.
malls and the stores are closing down. I mean,
know that's-
there's been like there's a couple of when I was growing up, big malls here in Arizona that's not anymore.
Dwindled.
When
Yeah.
they like totally closed down.
Yeah.
They actually there was this one YouTuber here in Arizona who did like Ghost Town or
Oh,
Ghost Mall
those are fun to
series or
watch.
something like that, as they
Yeah.
they faded.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting enough, I think the last store was Bath and Body Works. I think.
Yeah.
Or
Ours
something like
just
that.
is it Bath and Body Works? Which one? Not the candle one.
A lot.
The one that,
Oh.
that sells a lot of like but yeah, our last one here just closed down too. Bath and
Yeah, Bath and Body Works are
Yeah.
they're not doing too well, but at least aside from all the stores and companies that didn't sell anything, Lego did though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
literally
did.
buying Lego stocks.
Like I wish it went public, but like
Seriously.
there were so many times I'm like, oh, dude, should I? Like, I wanted the Monkey Kid stuff because I wanted to make that giant like city,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
like as soon as it like went live, it went to back order like within like 2 minutes.
Wow.
But you know how it is when things go into back order or like
Yeah.
pre-order. You're like,
Uh-huh.
well, I could order it now, and then I'll
should
deal with the
just-
repercussions in January.
Well, you were lucky. You were lucky to log on, and everybody was having issues trying to just
Yeah.
log into
Oh,
the
yeah.
website, dude.
Well, because I was
Like
trying to get, I was
Thanksgiving
trying to
night.
get the Avengers Tower like on
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving, like at 9 o'clock of my time. I'm like, okay, here we go. And even the Avengers Tower wasn't even ready on the site. It took like 5 minutes, so I kept wandering around, so I didn't get kicked out and have to wait in that queue again.
Yeah, yeah. It was
The Lego
it was
releases
bad.
lately just reminds me of like the shoe releases back then. Like
Mhm.
waiting at midnight, footlocker.com. Gotta get the J's. Gotta get
refresh,
yeah.
refresh,
You have like that, your desktop, your laptop,
Oh my
your
gosh.
phone, and you hit on one.
Yeah, but at least with Lego, you get it's gonna come back.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing with
Yeah.
the shoes back then.
Shoes
It's like
is
once
gone.
it's out, it's
Done.
out.
Well, they went ham with like all of their double, triple insider points.
Quadruple.
They even had
Quadruple, yeah.
like discounts, deals. Like that's the first time I've seen that many discounts. I feel like.
See, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good thing for Lego because I remember when I used to work for them, like they made it very apparent that like that Lego doesn't mark stuff down unless they really have
Right.
to.
Mhm.
Just because if they mark stuff down, then you're telling your resellers like Walmart, Target that you don't have any confidence in the item that you're making them sell. So
Right.
that marking down wasn't really a good thing they wanted to promote. And and if let's say you were to mark down, now you're teaching your customers that just to wait,
Yeah.
and right now we're most Lego fans are if they really want something big, if they don't want a day one but they know they want it, they'll just wait for double VIP or double insiders, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Double insiders,
Yeah.
and then or they'll wait for like a promo, or now it's like I'm gonna wait for all that and I'm gonna wait till it goes down on sale because it's gonna go down
Yeah.
on sale.
Right. Right. I've definitely come to notice that with a lot of AFOLs. I would ask on stream, like, hey, anybody pick up anything on release day? And a majority of the people in chat will say, no, I'm just waiting for double insiders. No, I'm just waiting for a better gift of purchase.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for it to be on sale or whatever. There's not really I think the hunt for a better deal has overpowered their FOMO now.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's so many releases, right? Like the last couple of years was just, it wasn't like even like waiting for a given time frame to want something.
It's once a
Every
month.
single month there's something great being released, and I don't know at what point is the want saturated.
Because when we first started, it was like one big set a year,
Yeah,
or maybe like two
the
big sets a year.
modular, you're waiting for that, and now it's incessant. It's incessant.
Yeah.
And so,
I like. What about that year when they released like the Hulkbuster, and which was a bust, and also like the Hogwarts
Panther?
train, and
Oh.
nobody bought that.
Mhm.
And so it was.
So maybe from their perspective, they're like releasing a number of items, hoping that it's going to be a great sale, but it has to be balanced by, items that aren't going to be as popular. And how does that fly, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's probably pros and cons behind all that, but I feel like it is. I think it's just there's just releasing so many things, so it's hard to justify like, I need to get it right away or whatever.
And you grown-ups, you're not waiting for Christmas, there's no Christmas wish list to give to somebody and wait until Christmas morning to open it. It's open, it's built.
Yeah. What are you gonna get Nick for Christmas?
Nothing.
He's already built it. He's already built it. It's already downstairs.
I know. He's like, oh, I don't have those Lego postcards. I'm like, what? What Lego postcards? Maybe I should start looking for those.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much has changed. I mean, obviously, the pandemic has, COVID-19 kind of changed a lot of that. And then, but like we even said, even pre Corn Beef 19, like it was kind of already on like a downward
down.
trend of like not going to brick and mortar stores and just shopping online.
Yeah.
But even I think that kind of even just escalated it, right? Like just shop online. Why risk germy heckin' people, and huddling up next to them.
Yeah. Now, something like the Lego store there, though, right? There should still be an appeal towards the young kids, right? Like to draw them in. They still have the model displays that will bring the kids to have like a wow factor still, versus other places that you can easily sell it online, but there's doesn't need to be an appeal towards the customer really beyond the product. But I think the Lego store it's too bad. Like something like the Disney store, everything closed down, right? Like there's no more stores like that to pull children into a product. So I think Lego
it's like their marketing tool just to get
right. Yeah. But I
interested.
think I don't know. I really hope Lego stores don't reduce their numbers in terms of outlets out there, physical outlets, because I think it still draws little children here. And
they're opening more.
Yeah,
opening more.
Yeah,
because I think Rob went to an opening, right?
In
Houston. Was it Houston?
But like
San Antonio? Yeah.
I think it was the loss of Toys R Us here in the United States was their opportunity to open up more stores.
That's true.
Rip Toys R Us.
Yeah, without Toys R Us, then they had all that inventory to keep if they're going to maintain that amount of inventory being created. And now they have now they're going to have a new factory ready. Yes. So they're going to need to push out further by they're going to need to push out more product, and it's going to be interesting to see because they're all playing catch up, of the demand from Corn Beef 19. But I don't know if it's going to be to their favor if they have a brand new factory you have to pay for all these new stores that you're popping up and no one's buying squat. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of years, that's for sure.
It'll be interesting to see their strategy, whether or not they can. I mean, they probably have to continue discounting sets. They'll probably have to continue giving us, solid gift purchases. Continue giving us different deals and double VI or double insider points because that's what people are. Yeah, that's what people are waiting for. If they don't do that, I mean, how hard is it gonna be for people, a lot of AFOs especially, to bite? Especially with the high price tag on a lot of the sets that are that are really, really coveted sets, right? So it's tough to move forward, but dang, Lego's still killing it though. They're still killing it.
Fortnite.
Dude, Fortnite Lego is so addicting, dude. Yeah, it is addicting.
Wait, so you guys are playing that?
Lego Fortnite?
Yes. Yeah, me, Amor, AZ. I mean, we were playing regular Fortnite before all the releases. We were just kind of mess around and kind of just we game we've been gaming with each other for a while, playing Destiny 2, and then that game kind of we did all the end game stuff. Yeah, it kind of died out. Well, it died out for us because we finished a lot of the end game stuff, and then we got into just regular Fortnite playing trios or quads with Zach, and then now that Lego Fortnite has come out, Tuesday was when it started.
It was Tuesday,
we kind of got into the groove of building a village with each other, because at first by yourself it's kind of boring, but then we started playing in a Moore's village, and then it just was super way
it's how I do it.
I don't know anything about Fortnite because I don't play video games as much anymore, especially when I have kids. And before that, first person shooter games I didn't play as much.
Yep.
But I thought Fortnite was just gonna Lego Fortnite's changing the skins of the characters, right? Is there more to that? It looks like
it's a whole. It's a whole.
What is it?
Game.
So what's happening? So
can you explain?
I don't know.
I don't understand too.
Go ahead, Amor.
Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, may as well. It's my job to explain games usually, so it's fine. So it's a totally different mode. So regular Fortnite is like a 100 player, what they call battle royale. Last person survives wins. It's a shooter, right? Lego Fortnite obviously does not match the core values of, say, what regular Fortnite is. It's just they have a map that you start on. You can play with up to 7 other people, and it's very survivally, and you build. It's very Minecraft influenced. So you get Lego builds that you can do that you unlock over time. So like you start off like building basic shacks and things like that. But you go out into the world and like Minecraft, you gather resources and you build up. And then there are different enemies on the map that can come attack you at night. So you just kind of want to like build up your little village, and over time you can invite more like NPCs or like computer players to come over and like help you with your village. And so like the whole loop of it is you go out, gather resources, you build up, you explore deeper into the world, which is more dangerous, and then you get more uncommon resources to build cooler stuff. And so yeah, that's the short version of it. But yeah, we've been playing together. We built up my village. We're starting to like get into like the more rare things that you can build. It's got it's very like at first glance, a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's like Minecraft, but with Lego." There's a lot of little differences, but that is actually a good way to summarize it for people who don't really know much about the game.
So the focus isn't killing each other.
Not at all. It's surviving. It's cooperative. It's cooperative.
That is crazy.
So, cooperative play.
Yeah,
that's funny because remember we're at Brick Slopes. Jordan was talking about how he admits that Lego and apps weren't really something that it was their strong suit, and in the past they haven't really succeeded in any of it. But they are partnering. He foretold, without saying it, of Lego partnering up with people who do a good job with this type of stuff, and
that's what he was talking about.
Lego.
That's what you must have been talking
their engines. So this is a good example of watching someone else that can do this way better than they can, and encompassing Lego in a different way. Because like, when I heard that Fortnite was doing Lego, and me, like I'm the military Lego guy, like I always push for it, and I'm always like, man, it's kind of BS. But like when it come on Fortnite, I'm like, oh come on, that game focuses on hurting people. That's your primary goal is to win and kill everybody. So if Lego's doing that, then I'm kind of confused on what your core values are, and all that kind of stuff. But to hear that you guys saying that the focus isn't to hurt people, it happens, but the focus is like
on build and growth.
Building a world.
Explore it. It's explore, build.
Is it a village or is it like a base, like a castle?
They call it a village.
And
but
you want it to be Lego.
Yeah, that sounds.
And so you can buy this at the store, like it's $80, and then you buy the Lego Fortnite.
No, Fortnite's free. The whole thing is free. Believe it or not, the whole thing is free.
You could download it right now
on. Nick now for the next 6 months.
You can download it on computer and console,
and it's crossplay. Meaning, like last night, I got it set up for my daughters on their Xbox and Nintendo Switch. Right? And it's crossplay. So I got them set up and introduced them to Lego Fortnite because they're big Minecraft players, right? They were big on Minecraft and Roblox, and I explained what Fortnite is doing and what Epic is doing. They're making AAA Roblox basically. They're trying to get that to where now you have Lego, now you have the music festival, which is kind of like which is the same developers, right? Amor Harmonix or something like that.
Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band. And then you have Rocket Racing, kind of based on Rocket League per se, right? You have that, and then you're gonna have more people. I won't be surprised if there's more developers coming in. And I introduced them to Lego Fortnite.
There are way more developers coming in.
Yeah, and what that's funny thing is, it's like I gave them keys to my world, and they were like, "Dad, what we can do?" I was like, "You can gather." It's like giving them chores, gather resources, and we can make something later.
Go cut down some trees.
Go cut them some trees or something.
That's cool.
So and it's free. Believe it or not, the only
you pay for the characters
within it.
Yeah, what are you buying? Skins?
You can buy skins.
Yep. You buy skins.
Yeah, but the main thing that you actually game that you buy is an option, which is the original game that they were going to come out with, which was Save the World. It's basic. Would you say, Amor, it's kind of like Lego Fortnite 2? but you're fighting
little
against
bit.
zombies or
A
something like
little
that.
bit, yeah.
So
Yeah, when they first made Fortnite years ago, it was supposed to be like build a fort and waves of monsters will come at your fort and you're supposed to withstand it, and it would come on like a timed cycle. So like
survival mode status.
yeah,
yes,
so every
Mhm.
certain time a wave would hit, and then you would fend them off, and then they'd stop, and you'd have time to build up, and then do it again. And then they realized that their battle royale mode was way more popular, so they
copied
kind of
from PUBG.
yeah they
Made it
copied they copied another game's format, and it went off, and then that's all they've done until these
then.
modes that have come out last week. So
Right.
They actually released, like, if you look at the creative modes that they have, they gave the access to the engine. If you actually kind of look through it, they actually have a totally different looking games in there, like looking like Call of Duty games.
Mhm.
And
Right.
people, when people think Fortnite, oh, it's like cartoonish and stuff like that. But Epic gave the access to their engine, and this is what the people are coming up with now.
Unreal.
So
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
what I'm downloading, guys.
Yeah, it's just games. It's like a bunch of games. It's a bunch of games within the game, but these
Yeah.
are official games within the game. With Lego, with
Okay.
Harmonix and their festival, and then with Rocket League and their Rocket Racing. They're official by Epic, and then there's a bunch of just games within the game, like when what's the name of that game? That platformer game that was popular a couple months ago. Only Up.
Only up. Yeah.
Only Up. Like when that was popular, people were making Only Up obstacles like in Fortnite. So
That's
it's
crazy.
like it's really crazy that what people are doing. But Lego Fortnite is legit. It's definitely more fun playing with people. It can be very slow if you're playing solo. So that's where people probably are dropping off and like, it's so boring. It's kind of lame.
I mean, it's triple the other modes right now in terms of player count.
Oh,
The last
there's,
couple of
like,
days has been 2 million players. 2
Wow.
million
Wow.
players playing Lego Fortnite on a given
Dang.
Time.
day.
I read
Pokemon
a-
Go started.
I read somewhere it was there was a record of 6 million or something somewhere
Wow.
On day one. Yeah.
day one.
Mhm.
So, but
And-
yeah,
and
they've
I-
been holding it 1 and 2 million.
And we could assume that it's not all Lego fans that are playing
Mhm.
it. So
No,
or at least
If
Fortnite
you
Yeah.
actually go to
so
Twitch right
that's,
now,
that's what Lego. It's a win for Lego because now
Yeah,
you
it's a
it
huge
is.
win for
the
Lego.
brand. Yeah.
if you go to Twitch, like one of the known gamers, Ninja, right?
Yeah, he's all
And
about it.
he's all about it. He would play, like the other day, he was playing the Battle Royale version, and he was telling them, you know what? All I can think about is Lego Fortnite. And he's not, assuming he's not paid by, as an
Mhm.
ad or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And he spent the whole last 8 hours just
On it.
on Lego Fortnite with the other streamers. And even now, when you look at on Twitch, a lot of the
Big
other
streamers.
big streamers are playing Lego Fortnite.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Lego streamers are playing Lego.
Yeah.
Lego streamers are playing
Right. And going back to what Brick Artemis asked, Lego can't make these sets sooner. Like they need
Yeah.
Mhm.
to I don't know if if
Release.
Epic or Lego expected this kind of a blow up for Lego Fortnite, but they need to capitalize on, because there's thousands, like 1,500 characters right from launch, like
Right.
Fortnite specific characters that turn into like a Lego version of them that you can bring into Lego Fortnite. And if they had those like in a CMF line, if they had those
Yeah.
in a battle bus set, if they had those in a little fort set, if they had like this versus a bunch of the skeletons that you fight off in the game, like, man, they need to come out with that like quick, because I know if they did it now,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
they would
surprised they haven't,
capitalize.
because I feel like in the past they've capitalized on movies, like even the Lone Ranger.
Ahead of
I'm like,
time.
oh, the Lone Ranger's out, but then the movie isn't coming out for like another 2 weeks. So I almost wonder whether they had been doing some research on the exposure of these sets or the release of these sets in tandem to the event. I don't know, but you're right. I don't know why they didn't do it, because I'm like, among all of my kids, all their friends love Fortnite, the game itself. So them hearing about this buzzing with Lego, I'm sure it would have made an impact if those sets would have been out, right? And suddenly, just for the novelty of
Yeah.
it, you're not even a big Lego fan, but you want the banana guy right?
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Lego
Let's
predicted like this response.
How big it would be.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
knew that it was gonna be, popular to some
Yeah.
degree, but
But
I don't
not.
think they predicted like 2 million a day big.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
That
let's
and
just hope that it maintains that momentum.
Mhm.
sure.
And hoping
Sure.
like with how Epic updates their games, like we were talking about in Fortnite, it the maps change as the season goes by. Instead of some games, well, they'll wait the whole season, meaning a couple months before they change something. So will that happen in Lego Fortnite? Who
I don't
knows?
know.
Who knows?
Probably. I mean, they have the power to do it. They have
Exactly.
the resources to do that. And I think too that I would imagine that Epic and Epic was pretty secretive about it. I mean, they're probably not showing a lot of stuff to Lego. I mean, Lego probably gave them a lot of freedom to do what they do best. And they probably just didn't know what they were going to do with it, and they didn't know what kind of sets to make of it. Like Grogu, for example, like we didn't have a Grogu minifigure until well after season one because nobody had any Grogu merch. Nobody had anything, and
That's
as
true.
soon as
Yoda.
people saw Grogu, that
Yeah.
blew up. There was no merch right when we saw him on screen,
Yeah.
and you didn't get anything Grogu until months after
Mhm.
season one was over.
They
That's
said the
true.
name. They said, "Oh, his name's
Right.
Grogu."
So pretty interesting. I'm almost certain Lego is gonna have to come out with
Soon.
something.
Yeah,
soon.
and especially how they're selling when you were talking about what do you buy, like the skins and stuff like that. The way they have it is when you buy a special skin, it automatically, well, if they've designed it already, they automatically translate to the Lego form. So you only have to buy it once. So
Oh, okay.
they're kind of selling it like that too, to where hey,
And then
you
they
wanna
should
see
send
this
you
in
one in the
Lego
mail
form?
too.
That
You
would
wanna
be
see this-
so
And
nice.
here's your minifig.
Yeah,
Your
and we're
real
talking
minifig.
about like on the
Yeah.
other stuff too, like the other developers
Imagine.
that came in, like for the music festival, you can
Mm.
buy special tracks, like music tracks, if you want
Oh.
to.
That's cool.
I think they're gonna also make a bunch of money off of
Yes.
music tracks in
Mhm.
Fortnite.
Oh.
So
I
that's
mean,
probably how
that's
they get
also
to,
the-
pay for the licensure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Shai, there's
Well, they
Black
let-
Falcons in Lego Fortnite too.
Are they?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I saw that. I was just like, oh, that's cool. I don't know. I'm hoping,
You want
I'm
to fight with
hoping
your
I
Black
can
Falcons?
start because I mean, for me, like I'm just slowly like I'm trying to introduce playing video games to my children, and my wife is really pushing
Resistant.
against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm,
she's been very good with ensuring that they don't get on it because right now it's like a battle against YouTube, right? So
Right.
like for my own
Yeah,
kids, it's like
screens.
they're only allowed to watch YouTube for 2 hours out of the entire week. So usually that's on the weekend. But now we enter video games into the equation, like it kind of could change. I mean, I know how myself playing video games when I was a kid. I wasn't like cray, but I was cray. But like she just wants to keep them as far away as possible from playing video games as long as she can. So that's
So which
all-
video games are you introducing?
I just
Lego
bought.
Fortnite.
Well, I mean, I just purchased the Nintendo 64 just for nostalgia
Okay.
purposes.
Okay,
And I
so
got
like
all
the
the
Mario
games.
games.
Yeah, I got all the games
Nice.
that I played when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
they every now and then they'll play and they want to play it.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, now I want to switch because now we can play all
you
these
could just
games that
have
we're
it
playing
there.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, because we can play all the games that we play on 64, which is like the
Yeah.
Mario Kart, Mario, and all that, and Starfall, all that jazz.
Smash.
But I mean, I was a really big like PS3, PS4 dude. Like I would play like any open world games like GTA or like Assassin's Creed, which is my favorite
Skyrim.
genre of video games. Like I would play those all day. But since my kids were born, no, I don't have that type of time. So,
Yeah.
but now that they want to get into it, it's just like, hey,
Like, yeah.
let's get into it. But
Two-player.
the Lego Fortnite thing sounds like, as a parent, like if you're to sit in my shoes trying to keep your kids away from playing violent video games, Lego Fortnite doesn't seem, if you knew what Fortnite was, doesn't seem attractive to you. It's just like, I know you're going to be killing each other. I don't want my kids killing each
They
other.
actually have. Is it on the Lego website? I forgot if it's on the Lego website where they actually have a section explaining.
Yeah.
The
I
whole-
mean,
the
they're
whole
not
thing.
directing them there, but there is an explanation of say, hey, this is a totally different game, and And I don't know too. It's like they really kept it like a secret until launch.
They
on
they
what
said
this
nothing
game.
about it
They
up until this came out.
Yeah, until you actually went in there and discovered what it was. Well, technically, it was leaked hours before because some streamers got access to it. But yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Shy, because my wife is totally like that too. Didn't grow up in video games, right? She didn't grow up in video games. It's always like it's one of those where I'm giving hints of like, hey, maybe we can get them a Switch or an Xbox. And you're like, why? So now there's like that compromise of my younger ones only play on weekends, like we were talking about, like and on Sunday, like today, there's a cutoff time because technically it's a school night, right? So they can only touch their video games and stuff like that Friday night to Sunday night. So that's the compromise. And then with my two older ones, it was like that too until they got to high school, where it's like, hey, you got to learn how to discipline yourself now. We'll let you be,
Yeah.
do your own
We had that
thing,
rule
right?
with Tristan,
You
only on the
So,
weekends.
But yeah, it definitely introduces them to like, yeah, you want them to just play Lego Fortnite, but from what I can see from the menus and stuff like that, there's no
way to
lock the other
Yeah,
ones.
and that's actually been that's my thing because I'm not concerned with my older kids because they're kind of at that point where that's fine if they decide to actually play normal Fortnite. But I have two younger ones, and I'm like, I know they would enjoy Lego Fortnite, but I also don't need them getting into Battle Royale
Fortnite.
mode
Yeah.
anytime soon. So I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence, right? Because I want to share that with them, but I'm also like, there's nothing stopping them from just dropping into like the regular game and then dealing with that.
I mean, when I say my younger kids, it's weird to say that my younger kid is already going to 7th grade. It's can't even fathom that. But even when they started like with getting access to Xbox Live and stuff like that, to where, hey, no online games, no chatting and stuff like that, and the only times they would chat is if they're playing with my sister, their aunt, on with online games. And even now, like I said, there's no way to prevent them from clicking on the battle royale mode. But as a parent, all I can do right now is, of course, talk to them about it. But you're also limiting the voice chat to where you can set it to their friends only.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a setting that should be default and not to everybody. If you're trying to make it safe for kids, quote unquote, even though they say it there, I think that should be like set to default or invite only. But yeah, so those measures that I set in there, for safety and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's funny. Our middle guy, he's actually at a gaming party right now, a gaming Christmas party. That's where I dropped him off before I.
I remember those times too as a kid.
Right? Bring yours.
LAN party.
Video game sleepover. You sit behind each other, playing or Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat.
Yeah.
You pass the controller.
Pass the controller.
to your
Whoever
friends.
loses next.
Yeah, whoever loses,
Yes.
next person gets in.
Stop looking at my screen.
Now it's
You know,
like
you
now it's
Looker,
like what time are you going online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah, see
time
that.
are you
So
out?
my brother-in-law was trying to convince my wife to allow my kids to actually play the video game. See that because they like watching people their YouTube time.
I know,
YouTube,
this
right?
is it.
YouTube.
This is it.
Watching Minecraft players. I'm like, okay, might as well just let them play Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
So like my brother-in-law is like, yeah, just make sure they're only playing with their friends, so they're talking or chatting with their friends, and that just really scares like my wife. Just because you never know, somebody might just come on and that's not.
And this is it, right? Like, yeah, exactly. No, it something recently happened. Well, maybe the last 2 years. Our youngest, he was playing with classmates, okay, from school, and they were all on like home, like school didn't reopen yet for us, anyways. But that's how, to me, they were connecting. So I'm like, oh, great, you guys can play Minecraft. But then said friend
Or
then
Roblox.
said friend then invites other friends from maybe their sports group
Some
or
older
or
kids.
an older kid, and suddenly you start hearing language that you're just like, no,
And
my
like
kid
bullying language.
And so we had to like cut off, and it may have sounded harsh, but like I don't know, as a parent, it's like that's
Oh
still
no, I get it.
that's still like my rule. It's like nope, we're not gonna
Like
talk like
Hayden
this.
didn't find offense to it. It was like us who found.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear that.
Yes.
And
Yes,
so
and you draw the line, right? And
Yeah.
so there were consequences there that he learned and we learned too, that as much as it's a good thing, you're connecting with friends and this is socializing at a time where everything was closed, it had its drawbacks for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, times have changed. Now, when nobody's going outside to go ride their bike and play with the
Nobody's
neighbors.
touching grass.
Go
What is
touch
that?
grass, everybody. Go outside and
Bouncing.
go play some catch.
Go
With the
go play
kids.
around the world outside. No. Nothing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're an hour in, and we have yet to even really fully introduce our special guest.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But Shy Time's my time. An amazing, awesome content creator on the Lego YouTube side, and making all sorts of really awesome content, such as podcasts like Cali Brick Click, and now Sitting on a Stoop, and which I've had the pleasure of being a guest on. But I think people are surprised most of the time to hear that Shy is indeed part Filipino.
What?
Whoa!
I thought he was Mexican.
I know you guys were surprised.
We were like, oh, hot damn! Shy is part Filipino at Brick World last
I'm
year.
Shocked.
Or should I say this year, earlier, or a couple months ago. So it's a pleasure to have Shy Time on.
Yeah,
or
look at
Shy
that
here.
nose. Of course he's Filipino. Look at that nose.
Shy here on a Holla Holla Time, which features obviously Filipino, or in this case, part Filipino AFOs. But Shy, I'd love to hear about kind of growing up. Obviously, you didn't grow up in SoCal, did you? Or
Yeah.
You did.
Yes. LA's hometown.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, and you are part Filipino,
Mm-hmm.
half Filipino. Like, how is that? I mean, obviously, growing up in Southern California myself, I think it's very conducive for a lot of different cultures and a lot of different ethnicities to kind of grow up and not necessarily feel totally
Alone?
as alone and totally a minority, especially for us brown people. Like there's some brown people down here and a lot of different types of brown people, which was always a blessing living here in Southern California. Well, how was that for you growing up here in LA?
Well, I mean, luckily, being in Southern California, there's like huge, giant pockets of the Filipino communities, like literally all over the place. You can literally throw a rock into the middle of SoCal and you'll hit a Filipino. But like where I grew up, where I grew up was in Glasso Park. It's like Eagle Rock, Northeast LA, and the Filipino community there was pretty deep. It was like mixed between Mexicans, later El Salvadorians, and then Filipinos amongst like the other ethnic backgrounds that are in the area. So, be that as may that I'm not full Filipino. And my mom like kind of raised me in a certain way to embrace the Filipino culture when I had the opportunity, but she didn't really stomp it into my head. Because when my mom came here, like she was alone. Like she didn't have much family here. Like she was the rebel in her own family and wanted to travel the world. And then she met my dad, and then my dad messed that all up. So we were kind of alone here. So we didn't have the normal tradition of the huge Filipino part within our own family. Now that doesn't mean that didn't happen, because we would get invited to her cousins, friends,
family friends with some family.
Exactly, friend, and you're calling everybody ate, kuya, tia, tita. You're calling everybody family regardless, so it just kind of feels like one giant family when you're walking into like a Filipino party, whether it's your actual blood or not. So a lot of my exposure to Filipino culture was through the actual Filipino community where I grew up. So when I was young, though, like I always, it was easy for me to pass as Filipino because I, if I shave all this off, I look Filipino. But like if I look like my mom, right? But if no one would really know that I'm black at all, and I don't really claim it as much because it's kind of, I don't like defending it because I'm like, whatever. And when I was with my cousins on my father's side, like I wasn't black enough, right? So I would get picked on a lot. I get bullied by the kids in the neighborhood, and my cousins did a good job like looking out for my back and all that kind of stuff. But when I was with like the Filipino side, since my mom didn't really raise me so much with the Filipino culture and he just because of exposure, I didn't really understand much. So I didn't really fully feel that I was Filipino as well. So it was always like a foreign thing to me, being fully accepted or embraced by one of two of those cultures. So it wasn't until I was like much older I started to appreciate being, because I was also like one of the only few mixed kids in like my community, whereas now like everybody's mixed.
I mean, your kids
confusing now.
Everybody's halo.
Everyone's halo. Like my kids, they're only a quarter Filipino, so they're a quarter Filipino, quarter black, and half Mexican. And they have white color skin, so it's like, what are you? I don't even know.
Right.
But growing up though, I did see everything you guys talked about. I could relate to everything you guys were speaking about the past 9 episodes, and like I laughed every single time because there was at least one story in there that I could that resonates with me. Like, have anyone here watched Debut?
Yeah.
Oh, the debut.
Yeah.
The Debut
movie. Yeah.
The movie. You haven't seen that movie?
No.
It's with Dante Bosco. That's what the Bosco brothers.
Rufio.
I haven't seen it.
No,
I have to
man.
look that up.
Oh my god.
I feel like I need to though.
Yeah.
And
Fun fact: my brother looks like
we watched a
Rufio.
lot of debuts here when we were like 18.
Yeah,
Like, we were
Cotillion.
huge culture here.
So Dante Bosco, his character is from a Filipino family, like very traditional, like so every single like mom's a nurse, dad's a mailman, like everything that you would like late 90s type of era of teenagers. So every kid's into their rice rocket cars, basketball. But he wasn't really like proud of being a Filipino. Like his friends were all white and Mexican, and he didn't really appreciate his own culture. So that's what the movie is technically kind of a clash of trying to appreciate your where your family comes from. So that movie in itself like really resonated with me as a teenager growing up, because I remember when that movie came out, it was like the next big thing for all of Filipinos, because we were talking about that too, right, Fred? On the
2000.
2000.
Okay.
Watch it. It's a good movie. But like we're very prideful people, right? So when you see Filipinos out there, we're like, yeah, it's Filipino. So like when that movie came out, there you go. When that movie came out, she was actually the girl on the right. She was actually a substitute teacher in my high school. It was kind of funny.
Oh no way!
Oh wow!
Yeah. But yeah, she looked
the
nickname. The hairstyles.
Then Lolo comes out.
Yeah. Who was that older actor? He looks familiar.
But yeah, it's
this actor looks familiar.
Forgetting his name now.
Oh, the
and
rice
if you guys are familiar with the dance
Gutierrez,
culture, that's
something?
probably modern right there. Dancing.
This is Shy can do all those dance moves.
I mean, that's the thing, right? And we all perform.
I know.
Oh, and he just shakes his head.
There's
wow.
There's a Cruz.
We're just silent now.
There's no volume even.
We just need to watch this.
Watch this movie. It's a good movie. Like it's that's how I was exposed to Filipino culture, was going through Filipino debuts, parties, mom and dad, mom's friends in the hospitals, parties, and getting the real exposure of who Tito Boy is. He's not Tito Boy, but he's not actually my uncle at all. But we just call him that.
Tito Boy.
Or your cousin.
But you were like familiar with the foods and everything. Yes, So
my mom's like main dishes that she could like because I'm trying to I'm afraid to lose it because if my
Mhm.
mom passes,
Yeah.
that's it. It's gone. And I've attempted to try to make the like her Filipino spaghetti and her adobo are like killer. Like it's the
Yeah.
best I've ever had in my entire life, and and nothing comes really close to. I don't know if it's just because it's comfort because it's my mom.
It's the hot
but
It's
dogs.
mom.
Right.
Hot dogs
It's
in your
mom.
she
spaghetti.
doesn't use hot dogs.
Oh,
She doesn't use hot dogs.
What?
it's awesome.
Only if it's requested. I tell her not to. So, but whenever anyone wants her to cook something, they always request one of those two things, and she makes them, and it's amazing. My wife and I are still trying to figure out how she does it. We go through the recipe to the T, and we still cannot do it. So there's a love there that we are definitely missing, and we're afraid to lose it. Because on the other side, since Thanksgiving just happened, when I was in like my late teenagers to like early 20s, I really embraced being multicultural because I think that's when I was like a little bit more accepted as a thing to do. So what I would do is on Thanksgiving Day or that weekend, I wouldn't eat like before because I would have 4 dinners. I would go to my mom. I'll start at my mom's. I'll eat the Filipino food that she makes, you know, and then I'll go to my wife's, well, back then girlfriend's pad and eat Mexican food.
Yep.
And then after that, I'll go to my grandma, like my black side, and have traditional Southern soul food. 'Cause that's where she's from. She's from the South. So I would have that. And then I'd end up in my friend's house to have the traditional fixins. So it's like I would have, the best things of all these worlds. And now as time progresses, I don't have, my grandma passed. So, like as she was getting to that age of not being able to cook anymore, like my cousins were trying to recreate her food. And they failed miserably. I mean, they were still good, but it just didn't have that. It's not the same. It was not the same. So I didn't really entice me to want to go over there. But now with my mom will only cook those things now if we ask her to. Like she won't like make the pancit. Like she won't make anything unless we tell her to. So like now we're like, hey mom, it's my birthday's coming up. Can you make
the request?
And we always she always makes in these giant pots. So because she already knows it, like when she makes it, like all our friends are gonna come over and they're gonna want some. So like I hope to not lose that. And that's that's one thing that I'm trying to, if I want to pass anything on, it's gonna be that food. Because like I've only been to the Philippines once when I was 11. I got to meet her first son and her first daughter before me, and they're short, so I could definitely tell. They're like, I mean, I'm not that tall either. I'm 5'9", but like
you're tall for a Filipino.
5'3", 5'4". Well,
okay.
But were you already? You were still not fully grown at 11.
No, I wasn't, and I was taller than them.
Oh,
and I was like, wow. But that was when going to the Philippines. That was when I fully saw like what the struggles are in life for Filipinos. Like I never seen here you don't see struggling Filipinos, right?
No,
you don't see it barely.
It's easier to hide, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
no,
not
but
so
there's a big
contrast.
family aspect. There's a big push to succeed. I mean that's a big Asian thing regardless. And then but when you go to the Philippines, it's just I've never seen a homeless. I've never landing in Manila. You're in the shacks of of the poor, and you're like, oh my god, I'm not used to seeing a crazy Filipino lady out of her mind yelling at me in the middle of the road. I'm not that's foreign to me, let alone me being in a different place. But and even my family in the Philippines, they're professors, generals, doctors, lawyers for the rich and powerful over there. So I wasn't comfortable being around them either because I'm not used to having maids.
Yeah.
You have guards outside their houses saluting you. And I'm like, is that an M16? Why do we need that?
Right.
So all in all, as a from where I'm from, my mom didn't really teach me much about being Filipino. She spoke to me Tagalog until I was 3, and then she stopped.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really get to practice it, and that was kind of the same thing with my friends. I think just because we're in such a melting pot of where we're at in Northeast LA with Spanish, English, and other languages that are being around, everyone just spoke English because it was just easier. So a lot of that was kind of forgotten, and I didn't really get. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to really embrace the language. One of life's regrets, I guess. I guess I could learn now, but it's hard. But I'm thankful that I had that Filipino community, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know jack squat. about
Yeah.
being Filipino at all. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
that's all that in a nutshell.
just get TFC. You'll learn.
Oh yeah,
Oh my God.
No joke. That's how some of my two older kids. That's how they picked up Tagalog words. Because my wife and my mom would get TFC back then,
Mhm.
and there were no subtitles yet. Because now TFC they have subtitles, but there were no subtitles then. But then they would ask. They would be interested in the soap operas, the teleseries.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, man,
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
are
yeah,
getting
yeah.
involved with this. But yeah, they'll pick up words and they'll be like, Lola, what's this? You know, and they'll tell them what it is. So, I mean, they don't speak fluent,
Mhm.
But
just
they
like
understand.
because like
Yeah.
my wife is half white, so they have the white complexion too, and they know some Tagalog words. And that's the thing, like what you were talking about, talking to them. I talk to them basically Tanglish, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Taglish, yeah.
but with my parents, when they talk to me, they still talk to me in Tagalog, but my brain now responds in
Converts
English.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
'Cause
That
your
happens
mind-
with
It's
you.
automatic. That's
Yeah.
how I respond to them. So it's
Well,
almost
your
like
mind thinks in English, right? Your
Yeah,
mind thinks
yeah.
English.
my mind
Yeah.
thinks English. So yeah, and I got here when I was a teenager. So that I can say more than half my life now I spent here, right? Even though Amor and Fred knows this, I still can't say the number 3.
You
That's-
definitely
You just
can.
said it.
Three, and I have to think about it. 3 and
3.
3. Like
Three
when we
trees.
were, when we were
Tree.
playing, there's
Tree.
3 persons in that 3. So yeah, but
Oh,
but
you
yeah,
can't say
things like-
tree.
I can't say
Or
tree.
He has to be
I
very
thought you meant like
cognizant of
actual
three
three in
versus
Tagalog, like
tree.
tatlo. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
you can see.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like when like I said, when I talk to my kids, I say Tanglish, but it's really mostly English now, right? But they still know about. You were talking about food. I try to take them to, the Filipino restaurants here, and they actually take pride now in taking their friends. Like my oldest drives all over now, right? It's like where does she take them for the first time? At my cafe place, which is a Filipino restaurant
Oh,
here,
Nice.
to
Nice.
show them, right? Hey, look, this is and the funny thing is the owner was like, here, lumpia. They didn't even order lumpia, but she was like, no, here. It's
Feed
like,
them the lumpia.
Yeah, this is on the house.
Try it,
It's like
try it.
lumpia, try it. But yeah, that's it. That's the main thing that she's kind of hanging on to is the food.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The food does so much. Like that's why I kind of pushed the booth for a second, because they do a little bit of a film homage sequence of just the food being brought out, from everything from the giant tray of lumpia to the pig to all the
Lechon.
desserts that you can get. Yeah,
Mhm.
lechon. And like it's just, you just look at that, and I remember being in the theater and everyone's just like, oh my god.
Hungry.
Yeah, everyone's just
I want some now.
but that's exactly what I remember, like going to, even to this day, like going to a Filipino party, which is rare now. But
Yeah.
you just look at the table of just the food,
Yeah.
and just like that's what really like brings the pride in being being Filipino.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and being on the cruise, I mentioned earlier.
We're used to it, right? Like
Yeah, the
your
waiter
stomach's
coming up
disrupt-
like, hey, do you want
That's-
a double? I'm like,
that's
yeah.
really true. So,
and then I ate it, and it kind of brought me back, because it's been a while since I've eaten Filipino food,
Yeah.
and
So
like,
it's
for my
good.
own mom. So it was bomb. Like I said, it was the best thing I had on that ship.
Dang.
wow.
So
You should have inquired earlier in the
should
cruise
be.
for like breakfast and be like, hey, you have tapsilog?
Yeah. Well, I guess have your first.
So they brought out not only adobo, they also brought out sinigang. So that was
Oh, wow. I love
Wow.
They went once they found out I was
Sinigang.
Filipino, they went all out.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Dang. Yeah, I would have inquired earlier. Like I'd have been like, yo, I know you got some casino back there.
Yeah.
Hook it up
Yeah.
for some breakfast.
I mean, for me though, it wasn't like I wanted to have Filipino food, because I already knew what it was going to do to me. It was going to make me lethargic.
That's true. That's
So I
true.
was just like, no, I'm
Yeah.
good. Just give me the salad I asked for. And then he brought the potatoes. And then I was like, oh, I need another
Fine.
plate of these. And the thing is that, I remember we were
Yeah.
talking about how like Filipino food and like along with Mexican food is very hard to photo, right?
Yep.
It's very hard to make it look appeasing and like a
Oh yeah,
traditional
yeah, yeah.
food. These guys did it. with adobo.
Oh.
The adobo?
Oh.
Yeah, so they brought it on a plate, and it had in the plate had a little bit of an indent. So they made like on the bottom of it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they put a rice cup,
Rice.
and then they shoved it like down, so it's a nice rice cake looking thing.
Okay.
And then they poured the the sauce for the adobo like all around like a nice circle around.
This
And they
is like couture.
Yeah, they dropped the
Wow.
chicken legs like on the
Yeah.
very top, so it looked really pretty. And they added like parsley or
Oh.
something as a garnish to
Like
make it look
Michelin
decent.
star
Yeah, and I was like-
level of like servicing.
And when I saw
Interesting.
that, I'm like, wow, I just ate my own foot there in my last episode. Because this looks really
Yeah,
good.
it's like, I'm taking a picture of this.
I'm thinking, and I did it. I just looked right in. I was like, real
Oh
delicious.
my gosh, that's
That's
so
great.
funny. There you go. Take note of that. You gotta take the sabao and then just
Yeah.
It's funny because
sabao drizzle.
there's that new. I told Fred about that new restaurant that we discovered by Anaheim, Lola's MFK by MFK or something like that.
Okay.
Like,
And when you're talking about pictures, and the way I found out about him is one of those Instagram ads
Okay.
because I was looking for Filipino food,
Yeah.
and up comes the Instagram
Yeah, of course.
account. Yeah, and they have like they know how to take photos of their
There's
of their
good
food,
photos.
and it's also gourmet
Delicious.
style, right?
Gourmet, yeah.
It while still sticking to the Filipino flavors
Yes.
and the tradition of how to prepare the food.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's one of those like they take the pictures well, and it tastes well too.
There's
Yes.
and again on Instagram, right? Like the things that you get fed depending on like what you've been looking for. But like recently, I think it's somewhere in California, maybe SoCal, but like a Filipino buffet place.
Oh yeah,
And it looks
have a bunch of those.
beautiful. Like just like I'm
Mm.
like I'm down to go there.
Don't know the name.
I can't remember the name. I was gonna send it to the Halo Halo group, but I forgot
Pizza's
to.
Kitchenette?
But it
Yeah.
looks
No, it's
yeah.
not buffet.
We're definitely fortunate being in SoCal, especially
Yeah.
having
You
like
have so many
Filipino
choices.
town and
Yeah.
because Filipino town is definitely a place to go visit if you want food.
Mhm.
But if having Filipino, my kids like knocking on the door, like pounding.
We're hungry.
Like, we're hungry. I see both your feet. I'm about to smash. Okay, hold on. There, I just slid them the iPad, and now they're gonna run away. And now they ran away.
We won. We won.
How high are you? But no. We have a lot of Filipino restaurants here. Now there's only been a few that still remain that I like really want to I go to for like comfort food. But I'm starting to see a lot of like kids, like youngsters, not my kids, but like more like my generation of Filipinos making their own Filipino restaurants.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
like kind of one doing it where they're fusing it with other cultures like Mexican
Yeah.
food,
Oh, right, I
or
heard
about
Japanese
that.
food, and or just doing strictly their own Filipino food, and like making bowls, like mainly bowls, and then just have a
Right.
bunch of things that they can eat there, and like the flavor is good. It tastes like Filipino food, but it tastes different. Like it
No.
doesn't taste like
I can
mom
Fusion.
and dad making this. Yeah.
Like
No. I'm not
Japanese
eating their
fusion.
Filipino stuff. It just feels
Oh,
like
you
they're because they're putting different things in there. Now everything's all
It could be
healthy.
too fancy.
So
they're
yeah.
trying to make it healthy. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
healthy.
make it healthy.
Yeah.
It's gluten free.
Because honestly, like like again, like same with you. Like when I'm asking my mom, how do you make this? Like sometimes I will Google a recipe and just follow it. It just doesn't taste like my mom's
Yeah.
bit or whatever. And so when I ask my mom, how do you make this? I feel like everything is just by intuition. Like when she's
It is.
pouring oil, it's like glug 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 glug. No,
Yeah.
so how many tablespoons
How
of
many-
oil?
how many glugs?
This much glug glug glug. I mean,
Yeah.
no, seriously, right?
Just
So
count the floor.
it's very much very much intuitive cooking, and it's
My
so
mom doesn't do
flavorful.
precise measurements either.
No,
Mhm.
no.
So
it's a
my
little bit of
sisters and
this.
I have all tried. Yeah.
It's all taste.
It's all
Yeah.
taste.
It's all.
You can see, like I see my mom, like she'll take a spoon out, just like a chef. Like she'll take a spoon out,
Yeah.
she'll taste it. And
Yeah,
needs more
it's good
ketchup.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you make
exactly.
sinigang, if you use the mamacita like mixture,
Yeah, the powder.
like if you follow that recipe, your dish is gonna be super sour.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Christine just made like the best batch like she's ever made. But
Okay.
yeah, it was really good. But it was all by taste.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to use like a quarter of that. It's
Yeah.
it's potent, like when you use those powder
Yeah.
mixes,
Mhm.
and then it mix other like herbs in it and everything, right? But yeah,
That's like
no,
a
it's all
different story.
intuitive.
Her second one was bad. It was
So-
like
Yeah.
sour.
So riddle me this then, because of your mixed culture, how was Christmas time
Mm.
for you? Obviously,
Christmas
we're
as
nearing
far
Christmas.
as far as like what I did as a Filipino that would make it different than anyone else's, I don't think much, just because it was just myself and my mom.
Yeah.
So the only thing that was special to me was that my dad, when he would come around, he always came around the same time to get me a Christmas gift, and he always ask on a piece of paper. He would ask, write 5 things you want Santa to give you, and usually there was Lego on it, and every single time the one thing that I wanted, he always got. So one of them was Fort Legoredo, Western stuff. One was the Royal Knights Castle. I remember that. And so things like that. So that would be my Filipino. That would be my Christmas morning, is opening up that gift.
Nice.
But that Christmas dinner though was always spent with one of my mom's friends who were usually Filipino. So I would have the Christmas dinner with one of her friends. So I would get to experience the, performing, playing the piano, Titanic on the piano, and one.
Wait, you play Titanic on the piano? My heart will go on.
Yeah, I played My Heart Will Go On all the time, like like clockwork. Like
Yeah. I was the cucaracha. It's
Show them.
okay. I get it.
Show them.
Yeah, so I'll start playing the piano, or I'll start dancing. So it was like I was like talking about.
You were the
it's like
entertainer.
we're battling other kids. Yeah, we were
Battling
entertainers,
kids.
We're battling other kids who like I'll play something, and then my kids will play something else, and then they'll be like, okay, now hey, show us the NSYNC dance. So then I'll show us that, and then pretty much we're like,
Okay, show us the NSYNC dance.
Yeah.
It's
maybe in Chicago if I get intoxicated.
yeah, for real. It's like my Anak's Got Talent is that's holidays.
So that was pretty much like my Christmas. It was exposure to the Filipino world was Christmas dinner with my mom's friends.
So my question to everybody is, what was more important? I know December 25, of course, is Christmas, but December 24, like sort of like the day before, holds to my family even like an even more special status. Like it's like just an anticipation of the 25th. The 25th, everybody's kind of like just carved up, like we were just like zombies already. Everything's opened and you don't want to do anything. But the 24th, like moving to the 24th, that's sort of like where everything is distilled and all feelings are heightened pretty much for the 24th. And it's what's that? It's like a snack, a dinner, but like
Noche
something
Buena.
Noche Buena
Buena.
happens, right? Huge. And for us too, it's the midnight mass. So it's like
Oh, yeah,
everybody's like
midnight
dressed to the
Yeah.
nines, and then you go and there's no parking because we're always running late, and then you're standing outside
Exactly.
anyway, and it's so hot. And I mean, here it's winter, so everybody's in their coats and and it's just a crush of people, right? Because of any day of the year. I guess there's Easter too. Christmas is where everybody is swamping.
Can't even find anywhere to sit. You're standing in the back of the church.
Exactly.
Yep.
If you want to go and
Yeah.
sit somewhere, you're there like at least an hour ahead. But even the mass before is just leaving at that point. And of course, there's the manger. And I mean, our church right now is decked with the Christmas trees are up. They have all the firs planted, and we do have a manger scene where we're waiting for baby Jesus. But again, how's the 24th for everybody else?
That's the same with us. Like when I was young, we go to a Filipino party on the 24th. Then once 11:30 kind of happened, people would leave
Scuttle
and go to midnight mass. And then after midnight mass, we'd come home, have our Noche Buena, and then we'd open up presents because technically it's
Right
already
after.
the 25th. It's past midnight.
So this is around 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. And then we'd open up presents. And then we'd go to sleep, and then when we wake up 25th, we just play with our gifts.
Eat the leftovers.
And eat the leftovers.
Maybe
and
there's another like tita who has a
there might be
hosting
a
for
lunch. There might be a
Yeah.
lunch for the 25th,
Yeah.
but usually it's the 24th that we always
24th.
celebrate it. So like growing up, I'd be like, "Oh, it's Christmas already," and it was only the 24th. I get to open
yeah.
my presents.
And most of the time, like I'm working on the 24th. So,
Santa
like,
would
people-
always come when we're at church for some reason, and then when we get home,
timing.
the presents would be
Yeah.
would be there. And I'm guessing when we went to the car, my dad would like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's kids watching. But
Wow,
would
you don't
say,
think
"Hey,
Santa's
Santa,"
real?
and
Wait, what?
Strategy.
Earmuffs, kids.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
It's funny because growing up in the Philippines, through I was in the 6th grade and 13, we were never really at least from what I recall, never been exposed to the concept of Santa. It was always midnight mass and the simbanga, what they call simbangabi, which is like the early hours of church. Like I forgot how many days prior now, but yeah, that was the main thing. It's like the Christmas Eve, you eat, and then you go to church, and then when you get back, that's when you open your gifts. So when we moved here to the U.S., I mean, my youngest brother was I forgot, like 10 at that time, but my parents didn't really have that Santa concept either. But they kept the whole, Christmas Eve, like you were talking about, Nick. It's like Christmas Eve, open everything, and then the 25th you enjoy things. Now with my kids, we've introduced the whole Santa thing, but we're still keeping like the whole family. When the family gathering is here, we still do everything on the Christmas Eve, and it's kind of like Thanksgiving Day, or the Thanksgiving Black Friday thing. Used to be midnight, but now it's at 10. Now it's at 8 because it's getting earlier and earlier, right? But the one thing that we don't practice anymore is the midnight mass. My parents do. They go earlier. Just because of trying to get food cooked and everything. But recently, the past few years, my wife has been introducing the whole more because she still wants to have like the special thing just with us, instead of the big family. She'll save some gifts for the kids to open on Christmas Day.
Okay.
But the main thing is Christmas Eve that we still carry on here.
Yeah, we do the Christmas Eve thing now. I think to me, I always thought that was a Mexican thing, was celebrating it heavy on Christmas Eve, because that's what my wife's family does. So now today we celebrate it heavy on Christmas Eve, and we do the whole opening presents at midnight type of deal at like my in-laws, and then when they come home, that Santa's already been there. So fun.
And this is it. Like, I mean, as immigrants here, like I came when I was 10, right? Like my parents had cousins, but like at further areas in Toronto. So most of our get-togethers were with family friends that they've connected with, like moving to Canada. And so most of my childhood here in terms of Christmas Eve were at so-and-so tita's house. Like there's like a rotation of them, but it's always like a fest with so many kids. Everybody's running around. Everybody like, it's always buffet version, but everybody's like potlucking it. And then of course, and everybody's houses then like always smelled so much like Filipino food. Like everybody just didn't know how to air out the house, maybe, or because it was so cold.
Everyone's jackets.
Everything stuck to our jackets, right? Like we've since fallen away from that, I guess. But now that all of us, the kids are grown, and a lot of us have moved further from like Toronto area, we don't get together as much. But like I know, like an auntie will still invite us over, but we're like, oh no, people get married, and suddenly it's like, oh, I'm spending it with like my in-laws. Like it kind of like falls apart a little bit in that get together, because everybody has their own families, everybody has their own grandkids. But I feel like my kids aren't experiencing that same crush of like children running around, right? It's like just
or that one kid playing a game in the corner.
Just invite Amor to your Christmas party. As an adult,
I know exactly what to do.
Where's that Game Boy?
It's the same for my family too. I feel like that's been the thing. Christmas Eve, so it's all the families get together Christmas Eve, and that's when we exchange gifts as to cousins, and you get gifts from Tito and Tita at that's when you get the mid-tier presents, like the socks, the shirts. You'll occasionally get an envelope of money, you might get a toy, like a smaller Lego set, and you're like, all right, that's legit, right? And then we would go to midnight mass. We would leave the Christmas party at 11, and go to our local parish, and then we'd have the Noche Buena, we'd eat. But by that time we were just dead tired. So you'd have like, I would have like an empanada and probably pass out, because the next morning is when you get the big Santa present, like the thing that you wanted, the Nintendo 64, you got whatever it is, the big Lego set. Like that's when it's like I'm going to bed right now. I'm gonna finish this empanada and hit the hay because I know when I wake up, I'm getting the presents. So that was just the immediate family, obviously at Christmas morning, and then like Christmas lunch. I guess dinner. Would be
that is appropriate.
Would be at another person's house, like either our house or another person's house, different from wherever Christmas Eve was. So that's
it's a constant party from 24th to the 25th.
Yeah.
There was nowhere to go. It was never. I don't think there's ever been a time like when I was young where my mom and I just stayed home. It was just like we went.
Did your mom have like a revolving door?
Yeah, the 25th. So the 24th was usually at his parents, and then the 25th became at my parents. And because my parents, like, we don't know, people's schedules are all over the place on Christmas, right? Like, and so they literally would just have food available from morning until night, and any of their ninangs and ninongs to so many people, friends, family, friends, kids, and everything. So they will just like, yep. Come to us anytime, just drop in, and they'll get presents, or they give out the presents to all their godchildren. But that was a big thing too, right? Like for Christmas, that's when you visit your ninangs and ninongs if they're around the area, and you pay respects to them. I don't know how this tradition, of course, is less and less at this point. Like all of my kids, ninangs and ninongs, are so far away. Like it's not withheld in the same sort of a value as Filipino ninangs and ninongs.
I don't know. I'm the fun uncle, but when it's my
ninong to everybody.
No. I have specific godchildren. They get like an extra present. So like, I always do it off to the side. So with
the godfather.
With this family specifically, so it's two little girls, right? They're both relatively the same age, and like last year, for example, I gave them each like a different princess dress. Right. I think my goddaughter got like an Aurora Sleeping Beauty dress. The smaller one got a Cinderella dress. They both opened at the same time. They were both really excited. And the little one was stoked because they got the same gift. And then I was like, Nina, come over here. Right? And then, she gets like the accessories, right? And whatever. Or, like different things. So I have to be. So I spoil. I give my godchildren a little bit more.
You're that old.
The other girls look at her parents going, I want that to be my ninong next time.
I know. I want
Ninong
bread.
Ninong bread, dude. Yeah, that's what it is. And more, I know for you, like you didn't grow up around family. Was it the same with you? Like kind of mostly family friends that you would experience?
It was mostly family friends, but what you were describing, Fred, was still very much of like what I experienced as well. Like Christmas Eve, we would visit with the family friends. We do all the celebration, like you said, the mid-tier gift exchanges that also happened as well.
Yeah, and those are the ones where your mom's like, "Don't open that. I'm gonna read this."
We would get that, and then we would get ready to go to midnight mass, and we would go to midnight mass. Then we'd open some gifts afterwards when we get home, like all the same stuff. And then, like you said, the big gifts for the kids were on Christmas morning, and so we did that for most of pretty much my whole childhood growing up. And then as years went on, my sisters are like, there's kind of a gap between like myself and my older sisters, and so as they got older and moved off and did their own things, we kind of did less of that, and then kind of moved more to like traditional American Christmas over the years. And so I don't know why or when or how that totally happened, but now it's kind of more traditional when my family would get together, especially a lot of us are marrying like white Americans, so that kind of shifted a lot when like all of us would come home and visit our parents. It became more of like a bit of a meld, right? So
what's traditional for you then? Like American traditional?
The whole like the kids get you up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, like the nephews and nieces. We'd all go visit my parents. This is pre-COVID, right? We'd all go to my parents, bring our families. We'd all like cram like all of the siblings and and their families in my parents' house, and then all the little ones would wake us up early, super morning.
Oh, okay.
We would try to go to midnight mass, but trying to get like
all
me
those-
and my 4 siblings and all of our families out the door, it was like a whole thing. So over the years, we kind of just we would try and not do it as much, or like a small faction of us would go, like the siblings and parents would go. So it's kind of over the years, have changed. But we try to still honor that. It's not as much as it used to be. Like I remember when I was young, it was very much like what Fred was describing. So.
And you said before, I think on this stream, that you would get a real Christmas tree, right?
Yeah, that was part of our Christmas tradition too. Is we are in Oregon, man, so it's easy to get a real tree. So we would definitely do that. And I had real trees my entire life up until I became an adult, and then decided it was easier to buy a plastic tree that I could
Get the
box
Costco
up.
special.
Yeah.
Pre-lit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's easy.
How about you,
Yeah.
Harold? How was Christmas?
Yeah, Harold.
It's pretty much like since I grew up in a military family, all the military Filipinos would get together. All the kids were upstairs playing video games. All the titos and titas were downstairs karaokeing it up. And they'll like bring us down for picture taking. They want us to play like the guitar, piano, sing carols.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was what I thought the tradition was going to be until one year we stopped doing that. It would be the 23rd. Then we all go to like Christmas mass at midnight, and then go to mass in the morning. So we're already like tired.
Double math.
But
math.
all that was completely different when I went to the Philippines for Christmas. And Philippines and Christmas was like, it was almost the same, but it was more family oriented. So you'll go out Christmas caroling door to door. You'll get like pesos, or I'll sing to like my Lola and Lola, and they'll give you money. So
yeah.
I was
but you went and caroled at people's houses you knew, or
strangers?
No, just like totally random places. Yeah, or like they'll give us like fruits, and then we'll do the same thing when they come to our house. And then use like fireworks going off sometimes, brownouts a lot of times. So there's a lot of candlelit. So I spent Christmas in the Philippines like I think 3 times during like adolescent and teenage years. So yeah, totally different.
Yeah, when we went in 2010, I remember the fireworks. There were a lot of fireworks, even leading up to Christmas.
Like Christmas was like on steroids.
Yeah,
same with New Year's.
Yeah,
nothing like it. That's
but now since me and my wife started our own family, it's more pretty chill. Gingerbread houses, very American.
Gingerbread, yeah.
Elf on a shelf.
We don't do elf on a shelf. I wanted to get Christine on the stoop, but Christine won't let me. Yeah.
Carl is the elf on the shelf. He just sits on the counter and he's like, I'm going to tell Santa you're not you're nice.
Or Santo Nino in the shelf? Is that something?
Oh my
God. I don't scare the crap out of any kid, dude. Like, oh my God. Santo Nino's staring at me, bro. I gotta be
start that in my house. Let's start
Santo Nino on the
shelf. Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. The next time I go to the Philippines, I gotta go buy each of us a Santo Nino. Yeah, a good one. It'd be something in you on a show.
I'll ask my mom. She's going in February, so.
Oh, there you go. You might.
Hello.
What kind of robe do you want? Like a nice,
You want the robe you
like
want?
you want the one with the crown too, like.
Yeah.
You gotta get the robe that kind of triangular.
Yeah, the triangular.
Yeah.
Stiff.
Red with the gold trim. You gotta get the realistic eyes, so wherever you go, it's the eyes are following you. You're just like,
it's with you up until that point, man.
Yeah.
I remember my sister was like, dang, Jesus has like more curls than I do.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Santo Nino on a shelf, man. Well, I mean, it sounds like, at least nowadays with you guys as kids, what have you passed down? What do you guys do now? All of you guys got
Well, this is it. I
you
feel
know,
like,
Well, we did that one thing, but then you guys kind of poo-pooed my gift in a stocking.
yeah,
every
Nick was a bit
morning.
much. So,
Okay.
so there's advent calendars, and I never grew up with advent calendars. But Nick did.
Oh, I forgot
And
about
so
that.
when we have the first boy, I thought, okay, we'll start advent calendars, and he started to do a gift in a stocking every day. And I'm like, yo, what's this? No, this is not happening.
It
And
was
it's
like
not like
little things.
no, they're not little treats. They're like they're like toys.
It was like a little transformer, and then
Yeah. So every day Tristan would like run,
because
go
I
to
remember
his
getting that when I
stocking.
was, but it wasn't every day. It was like random, so you'd have to check the stocking, and
If
if
you
you
were
feel
good in school
if you
yesterday.
feel something, then there's something in there. And my parents would just say, "Oh, Santa just dropped something in there for you."
Yeah, no. Our Santa was too generous when we
So
had
that
the
was
one
a
boy. I
thing
cut
growing
no.
up.
Otherwise we're just having the only child. But yeah, no, I feel a little bit lonely, I guess is the word, right? Like knowing sort of like the memories I came from where there was just a cacophony of like kids,
Yeah.
right? And they weren't
It was like
related
that,
to me, but they were just friends over the years. And if it weren't Christmas celebrating, we would be camping together during summer, right? Like it's always those kind of memories that just you have. But like my kids, he has a cousin here with same age kids, but they don't have a lot of kids either, like two that we hang out with. But it's a very much smaller family. And so moving forward, I'm like, I want to celebrate every Christmas from here on at Disney, for example. Like my uncle's there, that's my mom's brother. It's like if we can have reunions, maybe moving forward as the kids are older, to see how much more memories we can actually collect while they're still ours, right? Like, and I don't know, we'll see. But it's been a quieter Christmas.
But you never know; it might grow because once our kids start having kids, and then we'll be the grandparents, and then
I don't want to look at that yet.
we think that way.
Right.
Red
It
envelope.
could. Right.
AZ, you have your I'm sure your dad cooks up a freaking storm
Oh yeah. I mean,
nowadays.
what do you call this? He still has the same thing to where, hey, there's only like 4 of us here, but he'll cook like for 20 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told that story before where Fred visited over here, and my dad asked him, was like, hey, what do you want? He gave them 4 dishes to think about. He cooked all 4.
Yeah. And more.
I was like, what is all this?
And we were the only ones eating, but yeah, and that's his thing. That's his thing. He loves to cook, and like what Shai was talking about, it's like you try to, like my wife has asked him numerous times, like, can you write things down? But then you can't. It's like he'll just say, oh yeah, do this, do that, do this. Like how much? Like this. It's a little bit of this, and and yeah, and that's why Rolly was talking about like the sinigang and stuff like that. You can make it your way. Do you want it sour? A little bit sour, not too sour. It depends on your taste, but yeah, you can't really get that recipe down. You can't get it down.
It's almost as you have to do it. It's almost have to make your own version of that.
Exactly.
And that will be your version of it.
That will be your version to pass down, right?
Yeah.
That'll be your version to pass down. Like my brother, I don't know if you all have had this before, but my brother has a twist of putting broccoli in his sinigang.
Oh.
And my dad
I
has
had that
since
before.
my dad has since adopted that.
Okay.
And to me it was weird at first, but I was like, and then when I started to have it, I was like,
This is good.
this is good. But it stinks when you reheat it because of the broccoli.
It does.
But-
the broccoli,
Yeah.
yeah.
Adobo
Shai,
with
you have-
potatoes and mushrooms. Yeah.
Oh,
Adobo.
Yeah, I haven't had that.
Double mushrooms. Yeah, I've had that.
Shai, you have your wife, the Mexican side. Do you experience Mexican Christmas this lately? Have you been doing that?
I mean,
or-
our traditions now. It's it's Christmas Eve at wherever her family decides to throw it. It used to be this big fiasco. Now it's just like her parents and then like her brother and our family. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We would have the Christmas Eve dinner there. We would open their gifts, take photos, all that jazz, and go home. So we don't really do the church thing at midnight mass and in between. We go home and it's just kids wake us up at 5 a.m.
I thought you were tired too.
Yeah, and then they want and
Like
that's pretty
Amor.
much it. That's pretty much our Christmas is that we
Yeah.
just watch them play all day.
Yeah.
Everything's closed. Can we do squat? So we'll go on
Yeah.
like a walk or something like that. Luckily, in like past 10 California Christmases, it's always been like 80, 90 degrees. So it's just like
Yeah.
just go out and just kind of enjoy the day. They're really the days of going to a large party or a large gathering of Filipinos where there's a lot of food. And exactly what you guys like were mentioning with, running around with all the children and, just having all the parents just talking trash about each other or like, just talking out there while the kids are doing whatever. I feel like for me, those days are gone.
I know. Yeah.
And it's not necessarily because we don't want to do it. It's just because, we kind of grew out of it. Like we grew like for me, it was like my mom's friends.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Right.
well in my 30s. Like I don't
Right.
talk to you. I'm not gonna invite myself over.
Yeah.
So like in my friends, they're not predominantly Filipino. They're they're
But
all
not only
over the
that, like
place.
my question, I guess, too, is like, how about for Christmas? Like, we don't get together with our friends either. We give them stuff. Like, there's an exchange somewhere or another. Like last night, I went to, I guess, maybe my first of like our Christmas gatherings among friends, and there were no kids. Right, like I took our youngest because my best friend's son is just a year older than Hayden, and so they played upstairs like Fortnite.
And were they playing Fortnite?
Yes, and wrestling, and then we were just downstairs, the mommies, and hanging out and having the charcuterie board. There's cheese, there's wine, there's crackers, there's dessert.
That's not Filipino food.
And that's, I know Nick's like, you gotta eat something, you're gonna be hungry. I'm like, well, that might
That's
not be a bad thing.
cheese and crackers.
But it's quieter and it's like a few more people, but like there are no kids running around. So I am curious, where are the kids running around nowadays? Because I'm sure they still are. I don't know, but like I don't recall any of my friends either saying, oh yeah, we got together with so and so and so and so. Like everything,
It's a different generation.
quieter,
I think it's
right?
like
It's
a
quieter.
boomer generation
But
when they had all the
too.
And they wanted to connect with everybody, and
Yeah.
we're just connected. So we're just like,
Yeah,
I want to
it's
like deconnect.
we don't.
It's like
we don't
when
need to see you every
when we
day.
moved here. It's like when we moved here. Like I said, there were the Filipino population here in Arizona back then in '95. It was kind of spread around, right? Kind of spread. A lot of them were like deep in Phoenix. So my dad was kind of like my mom and dad were kind of like the first ones per se in this city that I grew up in, and it was predominantly, even though they worked in a nursing home, it was predominantly white. But at that time, they would petition nurses from the Philippines. So they would petition these young nurses, and they didn't have family there. So my dad was like became like the community dad,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, our house
Come
was
to us,
always
yeah.
like, we had a small house, but our house was always packed.
Yeah.
And then when they started to have their kids, grew and grew. But now that the kids are older, they have their own families here now that they petition. They're, they're doing their own things now,
Yeah.
right? So now we're just concentrated more in my immediate family. So
Yeah, I think that's so as far as like my own friend groups and family, like we do like my motorcycle club, like we do a holiday dinner, right? So we have all the chapters come together. We have this big feast of giant potluck of random food from every different culture, and then that's where you'll have the adults pretty much talking trash, and then the kids running around playing video games.
Okay.
And then like my wife used to do these things called ornament parties. So like she'll get all her
that?
friends.
You
So
should do
all her
exchange
friends would
parties.
get they would have a number that they're supposed to make. So let's say there's 20 women or friends going to come to this ornament party. You have to make 20 ornaments, and then at the party, when the actual ornament party happens, you guys pass around ornaments to each other. And there's food, there's music, and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool. She stopped kind of doing that, but so like the partying, like the closest thing I have to that now doesn't happen on Christmas anymore. It happens like earlier, like the weeks before, the couple weeks before, and like the actual Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are really just reserved for your immediate family. So like it doesn't really like that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of shifted to the point where like you're going out of your way to create a party. And it's
Sure.
never really on the Christmas day because you're considerate, and you don't, and everyone else is probably not going to want to come to your party on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
like spend it with your own family. So the dynamic of that has definitely changed
Yeah.
as we got
Do you
older.
do you prefer that or no?
I don't know. I don't really see the difference. Like, I enjoy time with my family regardless of when it is.
Mhm.
So, and even that's my friends, calling them family, same thing. Like, as long as we're together, it can be on Christmas Eve, it can be 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. We
Yeah.
can still have a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a reason to hang out.
Yeah.
Just hang
Sure.
out.
Well, even last year, so Boxing Day here is the 26th of December. And my mom, right, like I'm trying to just discourage her from cooking so much because she gets tired. And, sure, I'll help her clean up before and after, but she has it in her head to keep her place open for all of her straggler god kids to just pop in. So whether or not that expectation is also causing maybe them stress that they might have to
Or the
pop in,
obligation
right?
to
I don't
come.
know, right? So I'm always telling my mom, if they come by, just let them come by, but like don't make it
Don't
like a
pressure them.
crazy point that your house is open and you're expecting them, right? So somewhere or another last year I was able to convince her, let's just have a quieter dinner, like, because I can't remember what happened, but we had friends coming from out of town, like one of our really good friends, he lives now in London, and then just a couple of my cousins, and I just told her, let's just eat out. So last year was actually one of the first sort of like, we didn't prepare anything, like we had that dinner at your parents on the 24th, but then for my mom's side of the family, it's like just let's just eat out.
At
So
the
we
old
actually,
mill,
had like one of those buffets. I love them, the white people buffet, not the Asian buffet.
The Vegas
But with the
buffets.
pastas, the
Yeah.
ribs, the roast, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the
Right.
cheeses and stuff like that. I don't know what they call them,
White
sorry,
people
but I
buffet.
love those. And so we just
Caucasian.
Caucasian buffet. But
White
we had that, and
But
it was
they-
in a beautiful historic site in Toronto, and it was all decked out like a European, a European Christmas, right? Like with nutcrackers and however Santa's everywhere. So that was it was different. But again, when you go out, then you're limited to whatever time frame that you have. There's only so much
Yeah.
in that formality that you can like really chat with each other. It's really just like eat and everybody.
They're not going to stay till 3 a.m.
No, right? So you can't. I don't know. So it was a good idea that she wasn't stressed out or exhausted from all the cooking or preparing, that she is thinking even ahead of time of the event. But on one hand, it takes away from I don't know what, right? Like I'm also at a I don't know what.
Do you guys plan on doing the same thing?
I think this year it's at my mom's. That's what I say. Like I'm on turkey duty. I'm like, we're gonna get turkey and I'll reattempt that. And my mom says, okay, I'll cook some and then we'll just cater some other foods. In her head, she's serving for 30 people. There's probably gonna be 8 of us. But
She probably didn't enjoy last year. She wants to cook.
I know I think that's part of her essence of like I need to
That's
prepare.
that's her love language.
Exactly. I need to show people I care so much, and my sweat was poured onto over all of this dish, right?
Yeah.
So
We're definitely
We take
losing
pride.
that.
Takes pride.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I want some Indian food, guys. Like, I want some sushi platter and some deep dish pizza.
Some Greek.
Some Greek.
Oh, some bread.
Nice.
So Shai,
Yeah,
when you go to your in-laws, what would be the Mexican spread for the dinner?
Back then or now?
Now
it's not even like pure. I mean, aside from beans and rice, it's mainly
what about back then?
roast and like turkey and ham. It's not even Mexican anymore.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the last good time I had with like really experiencing culture between food, it's when I was in my younger 20s, late teens. After that, it's slowly becoming, I guess, because when your Filipino friends move away or when your Mexican friends move away and you start getting friends from other cultures and stuff like that, like you don't try to force your food onto them. So then you'll start to make food that's more open and easy to eat for them as well. So then you'll stop making adobo and you'll just get a turkey.
Right.
And you'll stop making, whatever.
That's a good point too.
You start to, and then that's the sad part is that now I think now we'll be like, if I were to go to an Indian house, I would want to have curry. Like that's like I think we're slowly losing what makes each culture special in our food.
Correct. By trying to
Americanize.
We're thinking about the other people and like what you like I said, you don't want to impose that on them. And yet, how do we share what we are? Because we're losing it ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Oh my gosh, Mason's he's 14, so he's meeting other Filipino kids in high school who are also born here. And again, I'm bad. Like I don't cook as many Filipino foods as maybe I should because my mom's the one. And yet when my kids don't want to eat what she makes, she won't make them. Right? It's like, oh, you want something else? I'll make you whatever you want. You just want a sandwich? Sure.
Peanut butter
So
toast.
his Filipino friends are going, what's your favorite food? And he comes home and he goes, Mom, what's adobo? And I'm like, oh, I haven't done my due diligence.
Oh,
Right?
no.
Like I don't cook adobo.
Oh, no.
I know. He's like, what's
Uh-oh.
adobo? I'm like,
Oh, no.
you know,
Uh-oh.
and I know. See, sorry, I know. I'm like, but when my mom cooks it,
Kind of mother
when my
range.
mom cooks it and it's available to them, they won't eat it
They won't
because
try it, yeah.
they're like, I just want pizza. I just want, I don't know, anything else, right? And so I'm like, I think at this age, he is now curious because this is where peer pressure is good.
Yeah.
Suddenly you hear it from another kid and you're like, oh, what is this?
that?
I love tinola. I love pakbet, right? I love all these things. I
Wow.
bring that home. I can make that home. They don't eat it. I'm the one eating all these things. So I hopefully my kids will find their path to their route to into like what makes them Filipino somewhere, right? Like what are all these dishes that other Filipino kids, and maybe it is yeah.
That was shy. That was shy, right? I mean, like you didn't really get fully into it until you dug into it yourself.
Yeah.
Going
Going to other
20s and
Go on the
30s, like,
cruise.
yeah.
Well,
kind of
but,
just-
like, I feel like just talking about like listen to that right now. Like I feel bad because my kids aren't exposed to any Filipino stuff at all because there's barely any Filipinos in the schools that they attend.
Yeah.
It's a huge like there's no predominant culture in that
It's a
school.
mix.
It's like
It's a
it's
full
a
mix.
huge mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll get that opportunity to be like, oh, do you want some lumpia?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think they'll be able to get that. Or you want some ground beef and rice? Like they're not gonna get any of that. It's like they're gonna get Little Caesars cheese pizza, and they'll get French fries.
Yeah.
And that's what their main dish is gonna be. So, but even now, even when my friends cook it, at least my Filipino side, like we don't make Filipino dishes as heavy. We just cook Korean barbecue or like
exactly.
like other things. So I don't know. This conversation has made me reflect on that.
I think it's too
Yeah.
like you said. It depends on where you're at too. Like over here, yeah, we have more Filipinos now, but when you're talking about Filipino restaurants, it's still few and far in between, right?
Same.
So when I talk about like my daughter, like when she's had her birthday, even graduation party, it's like she will, my dad will ask her, it's like, what do you want me to cook for your friends? She'll name it off, like Filipino spaghetti. It's always one of them, and then lumpia, right? So she's lucky with that to where she's always, she can always go to her grandpa. And my dad, he's always cooking, like I said before. And so every day, like last night, might not be traditional Filipino food, but he brought over corned beef soup, right? But the other day, he brought him beefsteak, right? It's like a big tub of, big tub of beefsteak. And
we heard him eating it. We were playing Fortnite. And
Yeah, we heard him.
people over there.
I'll be like, I'll be live in a minute. I'm just finishing this beefsteak right now.
Yeah.
The clanking of his fork on the bowl.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So and that's where I guess that's where we're lucky too right now in terms of with them getting that Filipino influence, in terms of food, right? And but in terms of like with her friends when they're in high school, there's, like I said, there's a lot more Filipino families now, and their parents are still to where they have heavy Filipino influence with them too. So they're aware of like the lumpia or adobo and stuff like that. And they're still, like I said, when our friends have, their own families now, own groups and stuff like that, they're still getting influence with those parties to where, hey, come over here Saturday night, they'll just have all these spread of food and stuff like that. So right now we're lucky with that. Even though they're kind of spread apart, there's still when there's a gathering, it's still like a lot of heavy Filipino influence. And I don't know if it's because of like the rarity of it to where it becomes a little bit special per se. You know what I mean? Rather than like an everyday thing.
Yeah, but see, I feel like there's like like lumpia, for example, to me is, yes, Filipino food, but it's also like mainstream, right? It's something that's easily portable. Like I feel like there's a place that I could go and order 30 and it's fine and my kids will just eat that. But it's the stews that I find it harder to make and harder to sell to them, right?
Yeah.
Where there's the ulam part and the rice part, and they're like, no, I'll just grab, and they always will grab something that's just easier for them to eat. And my two older ones, they cook for themselves, right? Even if I make like a stew or a dish, they'll look at it, they may taste it, but more often than not, they're just happy to make their own meals and prep it. So on one hand, it makes it easier for me, but on the other, that Filipino influence is lost and lost and lost because they have their preferences. And I mean, the middle guy, he'll make salmon fried rice, right? Like that's not so Filipino, but it's fried rice in the sense that it's Asian. But then he'll add his own mix to it, or lots of like pastas, lots of tortellinis, lots of those things that they like too. I don't know how to keep exposing that the ulam dishes more and more, because I don't know whether it's just a harder eat. Right, like you do need the whole sit down experience and the bowl or the plate and your cutlery. But there is one of our doctors came up to me a few weeks ago. Oh my God, Maria, I tried Filipino food in this amazing place in Toronto. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, in my head, so expensive, probably too. And it's called La Mesa, like a table, mesa, la mesa. And when I was looking at this website, it was crazy. Like a lumpia was like $4.99.
For one piece.
For one piece. And they have it like, it was a little bit longer. And then they had one that was like,
was it like wrapped with a bow or something?
Pretty much. Like they had like,
so disappointed.
They made something like so fancy with the how they cut the vegetables, for example. And they had that like pretty much decorated around this lumpia, and like that one dish was $4.99, and they did have like stews and stuff, but it was like $24.99.
I'm like looking at it right now.
It's like $24.99 for like a dish, like a and I'm like, oh my gosh.
What did the doctor like it?
Vegetables, she $10.
Yeah, she loved it. She's like, oh my God, this is so tasty. And I'm like,
so is this a franchise or
no? It's so by Filipinos, but they elevated it.
And
they elevated it. They made it more.
Well, I just typed
gourmet.
in La Mesa, Toronto.
So gourmet, right? And I'm like, okay, well, good for them that they found a niche. And then if they are, bringing in others who technically wouldn't even know what Filipino food is. But there's also another place. Oh my gosh! And they eat when you have all the coconut leaves or the banana leaves out. Is it called budol style? Budol. Yeah. So
right there. Budol.
So good.
Which one's that?
Where's the watermelon? There you go.
Yeah, budol. So this one's budol, and that one is you pay per head.
I was gonna say, how much are they charging for that if they're charging
the budol? So the budol place, I can't remember what it's called. Maybe something Casa Manila. Maybe it's called Casa Manila, actually. But you have to have a minimum of 10 people to go with you to go in on this spread.
Wow.
And then they will cook like a whole, all the fixings, and
really good.
you eat with your hands. So when you guys are in Toronto ever, we will try this.
What's the technique? Can you push the rice with your thumb?
Yeah, I don't know. I know how to eat with my hands. My dad's side of the family knows how to eat with the hands. Yep.
And I know Carl knows.
And then you do push with the thumb. Yeah. Right. And everything.
My dad's side also does.
Yeah. But I haven't in years. And I don't think my kids have ever seen me eat anything with my hands. They'd be like, what? Like, I don't think they've ever seen
Kamayan, Chicago. They gotta have a Kamayan.
Oh, in Chicago?
What's Kamayan?
Hands. Kamayan's hands.
Okay, so you guys need to figure out where we're eating.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
I'm excited.
I know.
The funny thing with the Kamayan thing, it's like when my wife then my girlfriend.
Did you just say your wife and your girlfriend?
No, my wife then girlfriend. That's what I said.
Okay.
So when she got introduced to my family for the first time, she was growing up with her dad's side, the Caucasian white side of the family, right? So she did spend some time in the Philippines before, but she, grew up her teenager years here. So when she first came by, I remembered like the whole Kamayan thing. My practice is always I have a small bowl with water on it, so the rice doesn't stick, right? So I dip it.
Nice.
She thought it was my soup.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I was like, "Yo, what do you don't drink that?"
This is flavorful.
I was like, "Yeah, don't drink that. It's for my hand." But yeah. So if we go Kamayan and you see a small bowl next to me, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we gotta find places in Chicago. I'm on
Well,
that.
now I'm freaking hungry, and I need to go eat before I freaking
So some
Pass out.
bistek over here.
Bite-
I'm gonna
yeah.
have some bistek now.
Yeah.
freaking eat my hand off.
I'm just gonna go to
But
Seafood City.
I know, right? I'm about to go to Seafood City right now. Before we go, Shai, where can people find your content outside of Holla Holla Time here? What's going on?
Anywhere you can find Shy Time is My Time on all platforms, and also Sitting on a Stoop on its own.
Yes.
So,
Sitting on a
check those out. Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of this show. I watch every single time, or not live, but on doing runs, and every single time there's something that can relate to, and I laugh.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Appreciate that.
I'm glad. And we have, other people like Oaktown was in here earlier saying, talking about their Mexican family being the same. So I love that we can connect not obviously with the Filipinos, but connect with other cultures. And you can find each of us on each of our given platforms. I know me, AZ, and Amor, which you guys on YouTube. But yeah, we won't be seeing you guys until next year.
Next year.
Okay? So next year, 2024. Yeah, so enjoy your holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas,
Maligayang Pasko,
and Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in 2024.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.